In that case, Will,
Hey!
what happened the last time on Ebon Ward?
Last time on Ebon Ward, Conrad explained that Emmett had confronted him about being a vampire, but was only interested in having the Keepers remain to prove their worth. In a tough spot, he accepted also knowing the extra holy power could be useful if Blackthorn were to be a problem. He also explained more about Blackthorn and his involvement with the Veritas Legion's dissolvement. The party surprised him with how much they knew about his old life, the twins, and Blood Harvest, but he elaborated further anyways. Everyone agreed the next steps would need to be gathering physical evidence against Emmett or Lucine, and if possible, bring them to justice in a very public situation. Amaranth left Humphrey with the party and told them she'd stay close to Oleander to keep tabs on him. Maze requested to speak privately with Conrad as the rest of the 11th hour went to speak with Marigold. At the art of it all, Marigold explained Lucine had been exceedingly kind and patient with her, and more or less becoming a fill-in parent for her. Not to mention that during the initial attack against Deletta, Lucine was sitting next to her the entire time at the Paradise Theater. Lucine Delta makes her presence known around the city frequently by performing for free at different establishments in the public eye. This would require more investigation. Meanwhile, at the Rivaldi estate, Conrad explained all that he knew about the Wandering Woods to Maze. He warned him about fairies, knuckle-of-ee, hangman trees, as well as a theater. He was unsure what would be the best call regarding the witch known as the Weaver, as they were close allies to Blackthorn long ago. When that was settled, nice typo for me, Conrad also came clean that he killed Gladiolus. He had learned Conrad was a vampire and promised not to tell anyone if he resigned from his position of lawmaster and endorsed him for the position instead. Things escalated and Rivaldi shot the young man 4 times before he used Dimension Door to escape. His body was later found at the docks and Conrad covered it by saying pirates had done it, which Oleander never believed. Conrad then confronted Maze about his history and that he was the son of Cillian and Victoria. Maze made it clear he'd never been Lucian and had no intention with it, and had no intention of doing so. Conrad remembered how Maze knew his original identity, but did nothing with it and agreed the best course of action was they were both different people now and it did not matter then. Tension remained, but at least there was no hostility thanks to Maze's earlier actions. Whew, chonky boy. Chonky boy.
A little spaghetti at the end, but that's just how it is sometimes.
Hey, we're moving boxes.
Yeah, no, we're all moving
narrative
boxes in a way.
Moving the narrative boxes. What do you want from me? So, I should say, at this point in time, we are kind of getting into that late afternoon, early evening.
God, look at all the freaks in this town.
There's a lot of freaks. Look at all these fucking freaks.
Your dad
This is the
hanging out.
most freak of them all.
Oh!
Your dad hanging out down here like fucking Waldo, trying not to be
Dude,
found.
can't wait till we get Blackthorn up here just chilling out by himself, like in the sky.
Once we see him, we can just like
Up there,
kind of
don't bother me.
leave me alone.
Let me just hang out at my cursed lighthouse.
But I figure probably one of the best courses of action would be, because I think at a certain point, everyone kind of breaks off to kind of do their own things and whatnot. And I know Redpath wanted to talk to or have a nice little dinner with his dad, Jacques. So I figured we could start there, and then also it gives you guys an opportunity to think about what you want to do for the rest of the evening, or even just jump to the morning after that. But
Yeah,
Redpath,
you guys plot and plan while I eat spaghetti.
yeah. So Redpath, you remember getting your little address from your father, and you haven't been to this part of the city, and it's definitely not as ritzy or fancy as the rest of Leviara, but it's still beautiful. This seems to be like more affordable housing and whatnot. But still, it's very clear that each of these homes still have some form of air conditioning through Magica and the sort. They're just smaller. They're more quaint. And here, I will drag you over to the house.
Oh.
And so you knock on the door, and finally, he approaches. Hey, come on in.
Oh boy, I like this little potted plant you have out here. This is very nice.
Yeah, I figured I should have something I can be responsible of. It actually encourages me to come on back.
Half the reason you get up in the morning, I understand that.
Yeah. So, welcome. He just kind of gestures pretty vaguely around the room. I hope my little kitchen will suffice.
turns, pivots. Ah!
Yeah.
Yes, I can work with this.
Good,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, look at those little tongs.
Yeah, they're not great for me.
Ah! How is that for you? How would how long? God, I can't even imagine.
No. How old are you?
Oh, yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. I mean, the little tongs are great for me. And he, like, comes over and does the instinctual, cannot resist, grabs and ting, ting, ting,
Ting,
like a little
ting.
crab.
Ting ting still works.
Yep.
Every dad ever must.
And he sets it back down. The bigger ones, though, I just hang on just in case.
They're
You
for
know.
show. Or you can whack somebody over the head if they break into your house.
That's true. This is very
Mhm.
true. But yeah, is there anything that I can help with for well, we don't need to start cooking immediately. And he just like leans up against the wall. How are you? What's been going on?
Oh,
God, when was the last, like, how long ago did he see him? Was it the
It's-
day before, or has it been,
it's-
like...
Probably been about a day.
Okay.
well, nothing calamitous has occurred. I don't.
It's been like 3 weeks, guys, help me!
I mean, mostly all that's like super duper happened is you were following up on the case, like
Yeah.
talking to Armella, getting all the details of that bullshit.
Pointedly, we didn't do anything dangerous or exciting that you could talk about.
Yeah. Went to the Harrisif house. That was
Yeah.
kind of it.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, nothing overtly exciting or dangerous like I'm used to, because as soon as I'm going to sit down, by the way, as soon as
Oh,
we
yeah,
stepped
please.
into this town, it's just been whirlwind after whirlwind. Everything has happened so quickly in like a span of like a week. It's
Yeah.
pretty overwhelming, but I mean, for the past day mostly, it's just been following up on leads and stuff and trying to sort things out.
Good. Well, I hope you get some sort of break soon.
Yeah, well, that's the point of it all.
Yeah.
We had dinner at the Haresif Manor.
Ooh, aren't you fancy?
Yeah, I cooked it. Well, I helped cook it, so like, wasn't that big of a deal, really.
Wasn't a big
God,
deal.
They have so much money, though. They're so
Yeah.
gaudy over there.
Yeah, I don't really engage with the Haresifs that much, just because I'm just a fisherman. And leans back in the chair a bit, and our paths don't cross that much. But from what I've heard, at least, it sounds like Amaranth's a decent lady.
Yeah, she's kind enough. She's level-headed enough.
That's good. That's all you can really ask for from nobles, is that they're not crazy.
Well, I think the best thing you could ask for is that they have some level of kindness, but that immediately disappears as soon as you have a certain level of wealth. So, yeah, yeah. How did you enjoy your little trip? Were the shrimp particularly hard to get? I don't think I've ever gone shrimping before.
Yeah, it went pretty well, actually. It was nice to have another person there just to help,
He
bring
didn't
up the
scare
net.
them away, did he, with his scowl?
No, actually, he's a great fisherman. He doesn't say a damn word.
Yeah.
He's very
I expected
focused.
That, actually.
It's a little intimidating, to be quite frank, but he was like, I couldn't see it. Like, he didn't smile when we got the shrimp, but like his eyes said it. You know?
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
the little sparkle. You should see him fold laundry. It's crazy.
Why do you watch him fold laundry?
We've all had to do laundry together. Listen. We go down to the river sometimes when we're traveling, and we just huck all our stuff in there, and then we have to like put it up on the line, string it off a tree.
He puts his hand up defensively. All right, don't worry. I know the travel in life. Don't fret.
Group activity.
Oh yeah, it sounds like a blast. Yeah, but
So
no.
where have you actually traveled with? You sounded like you and my mother did a little bit of it at least.
Yeah. Mostly East Coast. You know, we've been to Fayhorn, Cambrian. We've been to Anchors Up, Sweetstone, obviously. And we visited Maiden once, just because it's a big holy city. We thought we'd check it out, and it is nice, but It's a little too
Stuffy.
good God. It's
Yeah.
it's a lot of good God, God's good. And
Oh,
it's
you've
not-
read the book?
Yeah.
Gotta
It's-
read it.
You gotta read it. It's just like, how far does this go? And it goes as far as you think. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm a holy man, and I like to share my teachings, but I think there's a line.
What is that? What is that?
Right. You know, I think it's important to hone my earth crafting.
Oh! Oh shit, can I see it? Can I go up there?
He gestures, by all means.
So many artists around here.
Well, it's Leviara, and
Yeah.
your mom kind of pushed me to get into the arts and crafts sort of thing.
Is it like a face he recognizes, or is it like
Artistic.
It looks like it's just a person. Nothing fancy. Kind of going for a more masculine appearance, kind of going for a very, like, chiseled, lack for a better term.
yeah, this is me when I was younger.
Yeah, and he just gestures. If you're thinking it's anyone in particular, it's not. I'm just making a person. Yeah.
You're making OCs, Dad.
Shut up. His name's The Rock. But
It's not
Time out.
copyrighted in this universe.
yeah.
I wish there were a audible sound I could make with tea in my mouth to basically communicate time out, shut the fuck up or I'm gonna laugh.
Oops. But yeah. So
Yeah, that's pretty nice, actually.
yeah, I don't plan on selling them or anything because I'll be real, it doesn't feel like I feel like I'm cheating almost, where I can take marble even and just move it like Play-Doh.
Yeah, but you still have to have the skill to mold where you're going to move it and think about it.
Eh.
Okay, I'd sell it. That's some extra money on the side.
Oh, I don't need money, kiddo.
Is that why you're living in such luxuriousness?
What am I gonna need a big house for, huh? This is exactly the size I need. You know? I got my nice little bed, it's got a good little fireplace, plenty of room to read. Big bathtub, very nice. He like gives a little like, okay, thumbs up, like, that's good.
Oh, is that where
Real.
I get it from?
Probably. Listen, he puts up a hand. Just because I work with the earth doesn't mean I like dirt. All right? I don't
Oh,
like
you don't
being...
like the dirt? You don't?
I don't like being covered in dirt and grime and things like that, you know? Which is why fishing was a real struggle for a bit.
Ooh. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can imagine that's not that great.
Yeah. But I bought a little ring, and he gestures to... on his ring finger is obviously the ring that he must have gotten from Penelope. But then there's another one that's clearly magical. Just a little prestidigitation helps a lot.
I've recently come across something that I didn't even know it was in my ability. If I had known I could do this years ago, it's this little incantation under the spellbook. It was listed as fastidiousness, and so I just popped that on in the morning, and I don't have to worry about getting stinky anymore. And I wish I knew about that earlier.
Nice. Very fancy. But, yeah, he kind of looks out the window, and it's actually kind of a pretty nice view of just out into the ocean. I wish there was more I could show you or ramble on about, but I'm a pretty simple guy.
Well, that's all you need. It's your life. You don't have to live it for me. You don't have to impress me.
Yeah, I
Honestly,
know.
the fact that you're not just some dickhead, that's impressive enough.
Yeah. Well, comes with the teachings, you know. Be good to those around you and they'll be good back.
Have you seen any real assholes around here? Has there been anybody giving you trouble?
Yeah, okay. I'd love to meet the asshole who's like, let's bully the guy with one arm. Yeah.
They
but,
exist! I've met plenty of them!
They do. They do. But thankfully, nah, nothing of the sort. You know. Honestly, I get a lot of kudos from the guys. Yeah, it's nice. But what about you? Anyone causing trouble for you? Because
Oh yeah.
Emmett.
Typically have a lot of trouble with keepers in my line of work.
sounds about right. Yeah.
Keepers, nobles. So Leviar's great.
Yeah. Well, you know, I wasn't always like this. Obviously, I'd like to help where I can.
But oh, that's what you meant. I thought you meant like the city in general, but it's like
Oh, I can't handle politics like
no,
that.
no. I was
It's kinda
gonna
like
say, what are
brushes
you
it
gonna
off.
do? You gonna come out and be like, listen to me, I have $1, huh?
I mean, I've got more than that.
Yeah,
but,
I know, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, like in this town, position is what gets you somewhere. And I'm just Fisher guy, you know. But
Are you content with that?
thinks about that. I think so. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll move on to greener pastures at some point. But steady work. Got a lot of buddies to just drink with. It's all right. Why you got a suggestion?
Well, there's always fish in Sweetstone.
He's very hesitant for a moment. You sure you'd want me there? I don't want to cause you troubles, kid.
What are you gonna do? Overfish the place and ruin the local shrimp?
Oh no. I don't mean that. I mean, I probably could if I wanted to, but
Well, if you started causing trouble, I'd just kick you out. I'm
That's
not the
fair.
type to lie about shit like that and just sit down and, you know, let it fester.
I appreciate that. I worry because you've got your family there, and I don't want it to be weird for you or them, you know.
No, I wouldn't insist that you interact with them or become like a core aspect of my life. I'm just saying if I can give anybody a chance to live in a better place, I don't see why not.
He nods. I'll think on that, kid. I won't lie. There's a little hesitation because, you know, it's where Penny and I were gonna go, and it's not Sweetstone's fault. Like obviously, like I understand.
She's still there,
that.
so you can go visit her.
Yeah, you're not
I used to
wrong.
bring her flowers on my birthday every year. Still do.
He looks up. I appreciate that. Where'd they bury her?
Just outside the main gate of the graveyard. Since she wasn't a citizen, they couldn't actually put her within the gate, but it's a nice little spot next to the ocean. Under
smiles.
a nice tree.
He smiles. That's perfect for her. Doesn't fit in with the crowd,
No.
but yeah. No, I mean, I don't know what else I can provide to you. I could craft something. Gestures to the little statue again. Get you fish. If you need some vampire killing tricks, I got a couple of them.
Oh yeah, I'm always down for that. I think though, for the moment, material-wise, in terms of things that I want or need, any little presents that I'm due, I don't really want anything.
Okay. Sure.
If you could keep an ear out for me, though, that would be appreciated.
I can do that. Not a lot of gossip amongst the fishers that might be useful, but you never know.
You know, stray things walking through town.
Mm-hmm.
There's
Kinda.
you've clearly heard about the incidents that have been happening, yes?
Oh yeah.
What are you thinking about those? Have you heard anything on that, or
I mean, there's the whole.
what's the layman's opinion on that?
Uh,
Because surprise, I'm involved with it. Heh.
yeah, no shit. Well, I heard about you with the docks and whatnot, so thanks for that. But when it comes to just like around the town, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of talk of the Blue Jays are incompetent. With recent events, there was a lot of back and forth talking that, you know, want to have fire giants and the Harrisons be more directly involved with security. But then a couple days ago, the docks again went cuckoo bananas.
Hmm.
And, I mean, thankfully we actually didn't get too many casualties out there.
Yeah.
But even still.
Has there ever been anything else similar to this? Like, you said you've been around a while and you said it hasn't always been like this. Is this, like, just a new occurrence, or?
It feels like the Keepers and Blue Jays have been butting heads way more often. And there's like, this is weird to say. Leviara wasn't always super political, you know? They were more or less focused on money, appearances, and things like that. But then, you know, the Delato lady, she removes us from the coalition overnight, essentially, like no warning. And I won't lie, not a fan of that. I feel like there needed to be a vote or something.
Yeah.
But then that sparked a whole thing where all the nobles and just regular people think they know how to run the city, and it's just been just obnoxious ever since.
Well, I suppose that they had the Hersif man, the son, dealing with most of the investigations to avoid things like this happening previously, yes?
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gladiolus Hersif. Yeah, I don't remember, you know, what the guy was investigating, but guy was a private eye. You could hire him. Yeah, you could hire him for anything, whether it be, you know, something as simple as, hey, is my kid going to school? And I'm paying enough for the academy and shit like that, to, are they smuggling things in the fish? Which, believe it or not, that did happen a while ago. Kind of crazy. But, yeah, there was a situation where, well, he died at the docks, but kind of shakes his head. Yeah, it just didn't add up. Don't get me wrong. We got pirates that, you know, hang out around the docks, but no one's fucking dumb enough to go after a Hersif, let alone Gladiolus. I mean, the guy was a well-known magus that won multiple...
Yeah, he could fuck you up.
He was strong. He was real strong. So, not to mention it was like, to my understanding, like 4 shots to the chest. And I don't know. It just didn't add up. But just kind of shrugs. They called it that. Docs got locked down for a while, and to my understanding, they never found out who.
Do you know, now this is a bit of a, it's not really a tangent, I guess it's related. Do you know if there was any, like, since you're down near the docks, I imagine you do pass the theater every here and there, yes? Do you know if there was any suspicious, sort of, was there any suspicion that his girlfriend at the time might have had involvement in that?
He thinks about that. Oh, yeah, Lucine Delta. What a power couple.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna roll something for him, actually. Yeah, a little GM roll. Okay. He thinks about that. So, the news broke out the next morning, obviously, that, Gladiolus was dead. But I'm pretty good at reading people. It's like my job, you know? She definitely looked pretty shaken up. You know what I mean? Like, her I would assume was going to be a fiance, died, murdered. But she didn't like make big public announcements about it, you know, because normally you'd say something. Instead, she kind of kept to herself, and I don't know. Anytime he got brought up, there was just this, I guess, just a flash of anger. But then it would diminish. Now, he shrugs. I might be looking into things too much. And hell, she's an actor. You know, it's all
That is
about...
true.
But, I don't know. Something about that just didn't... felt off, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I guess different people process their grief in different ways, and imagine maybe since she's used to being on stage all the time performing, she probably didn't want to be in the spotlight in regards to her actual personal life.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of nasty gossip that came out of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's one of those things where no one's got the stones to talk shit about someone till they're dead.
Ah, yes. Were there people who were pretty vehemently, against him once it came out?
I mean, anyone that he caught,
Huh.
you know what I mean? And also, like, just straight up false rumors came out saying that Gladiolus was probably the reason for, there's been instances where people have gotten mugged in the night and shit like that. And it became more public of the incident. God, that must have been about... Yeah, it would have been when I first moved here. Like 18 years ago or so, when there was that big fire at the Harrison estate. That was true, actually. But then, he went kaput 3 years... He died 3 years ago.
Shit, man.
Shit, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'd be careful, Ron.
Oh, I always am.
Yeah, I know. But even still, Dad's gonna care.
He's got a very ponderous look on his face, like he doesn't really know what to say next. Like, it's not even a sense of awkwardness, actually, because like you'd expect in this sort of scenario, being at your suddenly brand new old dad's house for the first time, it's going to be awkward and stifled. But instead, it's kind of a case of like, he's giving off the vibe of somebody who's just bored at home.
Huh.
It's almost like he's bored that he's not getting more information.
He kind of cocks an eyebrow because he's got a really high passive
Yeah.
sense motive. Did you want me to like elaborate on something?
And what's funny too is that it wasn't even in the way of, oh, you didn't give me what I wanted. It's like, oh, okay, I guess we're just not getting anywhere with this.
Well, if you have anything else, even if it is any sort of, reading into things and being a little crazy about it, because it's basically gotten me where I am. It's just, we've pretty much came to all the same conclusions there as well.
Yeah. So I will say this. Maybe my eyes were playing tricks on me a little bit, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure that, like, almost immediately after Gladiolus's death, I saw Lucine by the docks far more often. Like, before, never, because she's a fancy actor. What the hell's she doing over there? I mean, yeah, sure, the theater's not too far from the docks, but I don't know.
Do you assume she's investigating, or?
Like, it's weird to say, but, like, kinda. I mean, as much as an actor could, But, yeah.
Well, I mean, if the guy she was in love with was the investigator, doesn't it usually fall onto the dame to do the rest of the investigating if there's no investigator left?
I guess, but, there's Pride Lionheart and that entire department. Hell, you could go to the Harrison family.
Maybe she didn't trust any of them enough.
Shrugs. Maybe. Though, it was also notable. She didn't go to Conrad. Which is odd, because, active law master, man on the scene, has the most information regarding or
yeah,
at
but
least...
it's kind of scary though, right?
That wouldn't stop a woman like her. No. With those eyes, no. He just kind of looks out the window. Beats the shit out of me. But, hey, I know from firsthand. Love
And
makes
you'd
you do
think
dumb
maybe she
shit.
would have gone to the keepers about it too, as well. Couldn't that have been an option?
He thinks about that. Yeah, actually. Huh. Yeah, she had a lot of options.
Huh.
Huh.
I mean, were the keepers any more or less competent back then? I know they're using a lot of their manpower to just have macho fights against the Blue Jays nowadays, but back then?
Well, I mean, so here I'm gonna roll another thing for him because now you're like kind of making him think a little bit more. So I'm gonna have him do a passive perception check. Okay.
Comic. Oh, I'm doing it. I'm thinking.
He like kind of leans forward with his elbow on the table. He kind of like points at you. So now that you're mentioning this, like the keepers, why didn't they get involved? I do remember that there was, I wouldn't call it a surge, but I did start to notice more keepers in Leviara, like a month or two after. And there was this argument of, I guess, concern for safety if a Hairsif could die, which was like a fair thing to bring up.
That's a fair worry.
You know, it was annoying for us on the docks because the keepers had no idea what our routine was, and they were arresting people left and right because they were like, "You're a pirate." It's like, yeah, but like it doesn't count.
Not officially, not on paper.
No, we're not in the water. It doesn't count. I made it to land. It's fair game now. But yeah, that is weird.
And I assume the same person was in charge back then?
Emmett?
Yeah.
Yeah, Emmett kind of, that was one of the first times he showed up. He kind of comes and goes, to be quite frank. Though he's been very present in the last, like, 3 months or so.
So hang on. I'm just making sure that I heard the right things here in the right order. Is he talking about this right after Gladiolus's murder is when Emmett showed up?
Yeah.
Ah.
Not like immediately after, but like a good month or two later, this Emmett guy showed up.
Well, okay. I was under the impression that he had been here for much longer than that.
No. I mean, so they had another guy that was here for a little bit. He wasn't a judge, or at least not yet. This Magnus dude. I said dude. Jesus, he doesn't say dude. This Magnus guy. And, you know, he stirred up a lot of trouble at the docks very consistently. And to the point where Pride and Conrad kicked him out, you know, because like we couldn't get shit done. You know, it's just this guy hanging around saying he's a fucking hero and just bullying people. To my understanding, Emmett got involved after that as well. And then for sure after that, Emmett just been a constant.
Huh, okay.
He kind of smiles. Is that good information? I don't know.
It's certainly information. I mean, that gives me something to go off of. That could definitely grease some wheels in the things that I'm investigating. Because that just pointed out an inconsistency, a little lie that we were told.
Kind of cocks an eyebrow. What do you mean? Because it's also curious for me. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, we're investigating certain inconsistencies in the timeline of who was in Leviara when. We're finding that there are people who shouldn't be here. And, see, I don't know how much I can tell you. It's a little hush-hush, you know? Because I don't want you to get shanked in an alleyway or, you know, walk outside to water your plant one day and your head explodes.
You tell me what you're comfortable with.
This is basically it.
All right, well, I don't know what to do with any of that.
I guess mostly just don't talk to anybody about what I've said here.
Just smiles. Done and done.
Unless it's any of my group. Or, wait, no.
How about this?
Just don't talk to anybody.
How about this? Unless I am asked by friends of yours, or you, I won't say shit.
Alright, sounds good.
red path in the back of his mind. Emmett, you son of a bitch, if you disguise yourself as one of my friends and come to talk to my dad and kill him, I'll kill you.
That's more of a masquerade move.
Yeah.
Well, shit. All this intrigue aside, do you still have that shrimp or did they run away? They got bored of us talking.
I got shrimp, and hey, listen, that is not my fault.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And he'll scurry on over, and he's got like it looks like a little small fridge just to the side of the oven. He pulls out the bag. There you go.
Oh, wow, those are big suckers. Whoa, okay.
Hmm.
God, what do you feed them? Like, what is in the water around here?
There's a lot of crazy shit out there.
Oh my god. Oh, did you hear about that Kraken nonsense?
God, did I ever. Oh boy, what a mess for us in the fishing department.
Oh,
Not to
jeez.
mention all the stupid, like, stone pathways that jackass
Oh,
made.
God.
Fucking mess.
Oh, tell me about that. Did they have to get you to do any of, like, the work to, like, move them and stuff?
Yeah, actually.
Just you. Oh my god.
But hey, he kind of gives you an elbow in the ribs. I got paid pretty good.
Yeah, they better have.
Hey, I mean, I'm like the only guy who could do it, so yeah, why not? It's good money.
Okay, let's get these shrimp made. Let's figure out what to do with these.
He looks over. Well, let's get cracking, huh? Oh, I could try.
You
Here,
have
I'll-
to crack
If he
shrimp?
can, here's the thing. Here's the
Egg.
yes, you can.
Oh, okay.
But here's the thing. If he can crack an egg, that gives him instantly plus 25 cool points because he inherently knows how to crack an egg with one hand. Look
Yeah.
at him! Look at him!
He's had 20 years. Like, this guy gets it.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
No problem at all.
Finally.
It's actually pretty impressive to watch because, like, after he cracks it, he immediately, like, spins it so the top eggshell
Yeah.
fits into the bottom one, and then he just throws it in the garbage. Like, it's all
Oh my
one swift
God.
movement.
Like a professional.
You know, that's pretty amazing. I can do everything one-handed. And so, yeah.
Way to go, Aram.
Is that a spider statue?
Villian wasn't real?
And yeah, so you guys have a lovely time.
You whisked away, but like just before we stray
yeah.
too far away from it, gotta have one of those moments. Loved that tub. Great tub.
Great
Good tub, right?
tub.
Good tub. I think it's either David Hemingway or Gabriel Pickard.
Probably.
Those
Looks
guys, they make good tubs.
tubs.
looks nice. Looks not out of place like
Yeah,
a porcelain
moving
tub
tubs
does.
here.
Yeah.
They're like boxes with little rounded bits.
But yeah, what did people want to do now? Because we can just jump to the next day. If there was something you wanted to do this evening, you're more than welcome to do so. As a reminder, tomorrow, Marigold had mentioned that there is not a practice session. So, like, there's nothing really going on at the theater the following day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, I know I've got another break enchantment to burn that obviously it didn't produce any results with Marigold, but it occurred to me now might be a good time to see if we can free up any of Armella's massive missing segments
Psyche
of memory.
locks?
Yeah, the psyche locks, yeah.
Sure.
Since she has many periods that she can't recall. And we can go there for a scene, or honestly, I don't know. If
Yeah.
you want to put me there for a scene, that's fine. Or if we think this is more mechanical, then that's fine too. What do you think, Will?
I think so. Why don't let's cast Break Enchantment
Okay.
and just
And
see,
see
if
how it
do.
goes.
Okay. So, okay. So this says, freeze victims from enchantments, transmutations, and curses. Break enchantment can reverse even an instantaneous effect, such as modify memory. For each such effect, you make a caster level check against a DC of 11 plus the caster level of the effect. So, my assumption is that normally I'd be rolling against every individual instance of modify memory, and I'm assuming there's a lot, unless it turns out we're really off base about that aspect of this.
Sure.
So I can make like one roll and just apply it to all of them, or we could like treat it as like an average or something. I guess the point is,
Or just roll a bunch of dice and see what comes out.
I guess point is, rules is written, I'd be making a bunch of rolls, and so I'd pretty much be guaranteed to get some, but not all, of those periods. So however you want to adjudicate it.
Yeah, roll however many you want to go for, I guess. Because I'm also doing the mental math of like, what all would this entail, quite frankly, for you, for different details.
I mean,
and things
however
like
many
that.
he'd go for is however many times that her memory was altered as per the effect, which is why it's weird, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
And
why don't we, so if I do a first roll, I assume that will be against the most recently applied one, which might be the most interesting because we're assuming that is when her memory was messed with in the head explosion incident that led to all the shit.
Sure.
So, okay, well, let's go ahead and make a roll first. 1d20 plus caster level. Okay. So,
and it's got to go against like the spell's DC, I presume.
It's against 11 plus the caster level of the effect. So
Okay.
the presumed caster level of Emmett, plus
What a
11.
fear.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. So this would be for like the most recent
So
one.
the DC is 30 million.
Okay. So I probably don't get the most recent one. And I guess for the next most, whatever that would be.
I mean, if anything, this would keep applying to the most recent one, right? Like, that would make the most sense to me. I don't think it just, like, goes down.
No,
the
that's
line.
what it does. It goes down.
Wow, really?
It tries to break all enchantments. It's
Yeah,
taking
it
a
just
taking a
takes
swing at
every
all one.
enchantment and
Yeah.
goes, did I get you? Nope.
No. Did
Go
I
on to
get
the
you?
next one.
No.
Did I get you? Yes. Go on to the next one. Did I get... It's...
That's why it's weird, you see.
Oh, okay. I understand now. Got it. Okay. Bizarre. Yeah, just...
Yeah.
Roll,
So,
just roll
like,
a couple more.
I can make a
Just
shit ton
roll
of rolls.
a couple
Okay.
more times.
Okay.
I guess.
Dooby-doo. These
Oh my
rolls aren't
God.
great.
Oh my
These
God.
rolls are the
Wow!
same.
Wow.
Oh,
I don't know, that's like 5-ish. There's probably more than that in the total scheme of things, but like...
Yeah.
Like, how... Yeah.
So,
Looks like
If-
a load of nothing to me.
if Armella is under some form of enchantment, from a modify memory or anything of the sort, she's just like after you cast the spell, she's like, so...
Yeah. When you gonna cast the spell?
Yeah, like, honestly, it's a little bit
Yeah.
of that.
Okay. Well, I have a bonded object. I can try one more time.
it's the
Probably
end of the
should.
day. What else could happen?
Nothing, surely. Yeah, I guess I'll take another. I'll take another bite at the apple. I'll just cast the spell a 2nd
I'm
time.
Big Nash. I'll
if I
protect
may.
everyone if something horrible happens at the end of the
Exactly.
day.
Okay. We're gonna try again. Please roll a real number.
Oh my God!
Wow!
Are you sure I'm not
Another
rolling a
ace?
d10? All
No,
right,
listen,
we're
it's because she's an octopus.
Bro!
Come on, man.
Oh.
That's probably not good enough is the problem.
Maybe? I don't know.
2 more times, I guess. Since
Two
you're
more
Sure,
times.
yeah, I'll just.
That's
Oh
not
my
it.
God!
That's
Oh
not
my
it.
God!
Did I get anything with the 23?
So, you cast the spell again,
Yeah.
and Armella goes, so, are you going to cast it, or...
Dia kind of looks down at herself, kind of. I swear this never happens. Scratches the back of her head. Yeah, there's actually I've realized I don't have the right spell. I'm gonna need
left
to.
my
I'm gonna
car
need to.
on at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to prepare a different one, and we'll try again.
Okay, she
I'll
just, like,
just-
shrugs.
Hang on a second. Do I
I'm
have that
just
exact
gonna-
same spell? No,
you,
I don't. I
You
don't.
probably have it on
not
your
today.
list.
I have
but-
it in my list,
Yeah.
but not today.
Yeah. Oh,
Insane
wow.
behavior.
Wow, Aram,
that's-
I am so sorry. That's like
Oh,
that's
man.
fucked up.
I mean, in fairness, the odds on
Slash-
break enchantment aren't great, but
They're
like,
not, no, but also when you matrix it across 10 rolls, rolling nothing higher than a single 13 is
It's
pretty
not great.
improbable. Oh well, these things just happen.
Wow.
Okay. I think
Dia just puts her hands in her pockets. Whew.
well,
Yeah.
time to hit the old dusty trail.
yeah, I think Dia's actually gonna see if she can just stay overnight at the Laurie estate to minimize the number of times she will be seen coming and going.
Sure.
And yeah, we're gonna prepare more instances of that. Man, and I rolled really high on my roll for Marigold when it didn't matter.
Oh man. Let's see here. So I guess if that's the case, Nash, do you go along with any of this? Do you head back to the hotel?
I feel like Nash doesn't have a specific thing that he feels like he can do, like, on his own. So I think he would probably stick with Dia as, like,
Sure, as a bodyguard.
yeah, as, like, oh, you're staying overnight here? I don't want someone staying overnight in a place by themselves, so I'll stick with you. Because
Sure.
the thing he's most interested in, I guess, is checking out Lucine, but he doesn't feel like that's a thing he can do on his own.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, we're spending all this time on Emmett, let's try and tackle it from the other side and maybe we'll figure something out there. But I don't sneak around. I don't know her. I'm not charismatic. I can't really do that on my own.
Can't do anything, kick
Can't
double.
do anything. Gonna
and
go
then,
smash squash outside now.
okay, and then Maze, you're with Conrad at the moment.
Yeah?
Do you just leave? Like,
I
'Cause,
don't
like,
think I've been invited to stay.
like you can ask, because like Victoria's probably coming home soon.
Yeah, you know what?
No.
I think reasonably Mace is of the stance of I probably shouldn't be wandering around like without any of my friends. It's getting late. Like that's probably a reasonable enough cause to impose.
I love this scenario. Where,
Oh my god.
hang on, let's.
Staying at
I want to RP this out.
Oh, of course, of course.
staying at your mom's house and your stepdad hates you.
Let's see here. Let me find. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Where are you, you son of a bitch? There you are. So, Maze, you are like walking out, and Conrad like actively like steps up to the door and gestures, "Leave."
Right, yes, leaving.
And as he opens the door for you, you see someone walking in, and she's like, "Connie, Maze!" She just like screams.
Way to keep it cool.
You startled me. Hi, Connie. I already know. Slowly turns to look at you.
We more or less ironed things out.
Yes, it's fine. Oh. Like how fine? Fine as in there are no complications, dear. Okay. That's, can I just shrugs, and she walks up and gives you a hug.
Maze returns the hug, still not super well versed in hug.
As you're hugging, she whispers, "You're really bad at this. We'll work on it." and she lets go, and she's just got just a true beaming smile at you. And Conrad looks over. So now what? Well, so like this is like genuinely okay. Yes, it's fine. We've come to the agreement of let lying dogs lie. Okay. Well, Maze, welcome. We have a guest room. I think it would be great.
Lie down, dog.
I don't really want to impose, but
You're not imposing. I offered. Yes, she offered.
Oh no. Maze is internal. He definitely doesn't want me here, but social obligation says he wants me here. I don't want to be here.
Okay, here. I'll show you. Come on. And she like grabs your hand and just like drags you. So, this will be great. We can have like a big old breakfast together tomorrow, and I mean, if you're hungry now, we can get Connie to cook something up. You know, we could just it's fun.
I know we said things are fine, but that is still a largely contentious fine. Are you sure you want to push the envelope already?
He said it's fine. It better be. Like the first time you see her get like kind of serious.
Yes, ma'am. He said it's fine, so it better be.
Correct. Okay, here we are. Behold. And she just kind of like throws her hands out. I hope this is acceptable.
It's great. It's better than most casual accommodations. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. Can I get you anything to drink?
No. I'll be quite all right. Thank you.
Okay. Ooh, this is so fun. We could like play games. We could catch up on all the things that we've missed.
That's a lot of catching up to do.
It is, but like, you know, in bite sizes. Like obviously we're not going to play, you know, catch or something. I mean, if you want to, we can. Look, a book. And she like throws it.
Maze catches the book. I don't think that's what these are for.
Well, I didn't have a ball, so.
I'm all right. What would you like to do then? You probably have a better idea of the sort of things that we could do together.
She kind of freezes. I've never had, a child. And, you know, I've always thought about what I would maybe do, but, I don't really know how to do this.
Well, I will be of no help in this regard, then.
Well, thank you. That's incredible. At least you're honest. I do appreciate that. We could go to my little studio. If you want, we could like paint together or something.
Oh, that sounds nice. Yeah, sure. We can do that.
Yes, and I'll. Oh, one moment, Connie! Connie, we want snacks. Come on.
Please don't say we.
Fine. I want snacks so that I can share them with my son. I'm still at the main entrance. I'm just stupefied.
I'm just fucking floored.
come on, come on, come on. And she like holding up the front of her dress to just like sprint up. She's like skipping steps to get up there. And as you're walking up the stairs, you just see Conrad like glare at you and keep going.
What do you fucking want from me, man?
More.
More!
Both of them wrapped around her finger. Both of them.
Both of them. All right, and then I can drag you two over to Boopadoop. Ugh.
I appreciate the inspiration it takes to come up with. We could play catch. Hurls a book at you.
And then I'll ping one more time. So okay, actually, she claps her hands together. My studio is not exciting looking. Just because I mostly just paint at the art of it all.
Right.
So, like, no judging. Okay. She just, like, throws the door open. And you see, yeah, it's very quaint. It's pretty open, pretty sparse. But on the east side of the room, there are hundreds of paints, various tools for, whether it be using coal or not coal, charcoal, and things of the sort. And you notice that there's a nice little balcony that looks out into a cave.
I also notice a mysterious cauldron, which is more at the front of my mind, frankly.
Mysterious cauldron.
Yeah,
It's
no,
an
what-
art piece.
Yeah, what's this? What is that?
It's
Oh!
a tree.
Do you? I made that myself. It is using various clays and things of the sort. I just made a tree. It looks super shit. Your mom clearly can't handle the 3-dimension. 2-dimension, outstanding, like unparalleled. 3-dimension, yo, this sucks.
I can understand the inspiration. It's sort of gray and miserable around here. Get some trees going, you know?
Yes, it reminded me of a tree I saw in the Wandering Woods, and I was like, I have to make it, but paint won't do.
Oh, yeah. He'd mentioned your trips to the Wandering Woods. Something about you spilling the beans about his name to some fairies.
It was one time, and I apologized profusely.
It sounds like it's forever now.
Well, that's marriage. But well, I was working on. We don't need that. And she grabs the easel and just whips it to the side, and grabs a new blank one and sets it down. So I was. It was fruit before, but if you want, I could put something else there. She just like shrugs.
I suppose so. Maybe I have something interesting to paint. Hold on, I've got a bag full of garbage. Maybe there's something cool
Oh
in
my
here.
god.
Oh, okay, sure.
Oh, you know what? Maze takes out the peacock he stole from Smokey.
What fucking peacock?
He had a taxidermied peacock, Will, in
Yeah.
his room.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I distinctly remember
Oh.
Maze stealing that taxidermied peacock.
yeah. Hold on. Wow. What the fuck? Things
We
I was
love
not.
being adventurers. We love being adventurers.
I love holding the bag of infinite garbage, personally.
Yo, gang, do you think that there is like an auction house that has the like D&D equivalent of personal storage units, but it's all just like bag of holding that an adventurer left behind somewhere?
Oh, for sure.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, like storage
Yeah,
wars.
like storage
Yeah,
war.
storage wars.
Bag of holding wars, oh god.
God, I love. She's just standing there, her hands clasped together, like, oh, what is my son going to do? Pulls out a dead bird.
See?
Uh,
Neat.
yes. Oh my god, is that a real peacock? Like, it gets real close. Oh my god, where did you find this?
Maze ponders. In the home of a guy who I wasn't particularly fond of, I suppose.
I see. Okay, well, please have a seat. And she just, like, pushes you around the bend and just plops you down.
She's very handsy, very aggressive. This is unexpected.
She is so excited that this is, like, just okay. She's like, I get to hang out with my son. I don't know what that means, but it's cool.
Alright. Painting's not really a two-person activity, though.
Oh, right. We can try. She just grabs some and is just like, let's just wing it. Let's just wing it. Let's just see what happens.
Alright, sure, we'll wing it.
Alright, so I'm gonna have to roll. So she does have perform art.
Right, of course.
So for her, she's been doing this for fucking millennia. So, yeah, something like this, probably. Yeah, so her side is outstanding. So, yeah, why don't you give me a...
We've been doing dexterity and intelligence. So.
Yeah, you want to give me a dex int check.
Yeah, man. I can't imagine why I'm performing poorly in this circumstance.
Yeah, I think a part of it is like, it's just like a weird situation, but you notice that she's like leaning in more and more because she's really getting into painting.
Maze retreats into his own mind for a moment. I don't know what I thought painting with my mother would be like. It certainly wasn't this.
Oh no, is this bad?
Huh? No. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. I just realized, she claps her hands together. I'm so sorry. I get like this. I get really, I guess intense might be the word when, I don't know, I'm just excited.
No,
I'm sorry.
I can understand that. I have my heated moments on occasion. It's just, I'm still not entirely sure what to make of all this, to be honest.
Right, which is why if this is too much and you want to go separate ways, I won't stop you.
I think this specific maneuver is too much. Looks at sharing a canvas. I think that was wrong.
Right, okay, sorry. Well. Oh, jeez.
Maze just moves out of the chair. How's about I just watch how you do it?
Well, all right. And she plops on down, and she just starts painting just anything, just whatever comes to her imagination. It's honestly, it looks like just a sketch sheet, quite frankly. And she is doodling like just different sorts of animals, just like her interpretation of what dragons would look like and things of the sort. It's just a smorgasbord of weird things. And at one point, she gets bored of drawing the dragon, and suddenly you see that the dragon is actually like made of fruit instead. And like this is happening as she's going, where she's like, that bird looks boring. It should instead be a cloud. And like, it seems like she almost needs a target to remain focused. Otherwise, it just drifts into a dreamscape.
Mm-hmm. ADHD queen, I getcha.
Yep. 400 years unmedicated, help her.
Jesus Christ.
The tea can only do so much.
Yeah, and at that point, the door is opened and you see a wild sight. Conrad Rivaldi walking in with a platter of what seem to be jalapeno poppers.
You're right, that is wild.
Yo, those popular back 400 years ago? Parthena on the Ritz with those?
Probably. She's like, look what I created next to my biological weapons.
Jalapeno
The
popper.
only good thing Parthena Veritas created was the
The
jalapeno
spice is
popper.
enough to kill mortals!
He holds out the platter. Maze.
Conrad. He
you
reaches
like?
over to take a popper.
I hope you enjoy them.
Thank you.
Taking all of my willpower not to say they're to die for.
He like leans in, dear. Oh, thank you so much. Ow! And just like throws one in, and then he like gives her a little kiss on the cheek, and then steps back. So what are you working on now? I don't know. We're just kind of winging it. I see.
She seems to have a very vibrant imagination, which is helpful.
Yes, she has a very potent imagination indeed. And she is just humming to herself as she goes.
I'm curious. How did the two of you meet?
They look at one another. Conrad speaks up. Well, this might surprise you. I was a politician at the time. And I needed a portrait for my inauguration into a position of power. You know how it is.
Right.
The big wall of everyone who's been a leader at that point in time. And I had planned on it being a silent portrait. But nope, I wouldn't shut up. I just kept asking him questions, and, you know, I made it my mission because I realized what a grouch that I would make him smile, because paintings just look better. And I eventually did. Yes, you were successful. And you see for a moment, just a moment, it's about to curl into a smile, but then he kills it. And some. I warned her that my life was rather dull, and my interests were, also dull. That I was not one for eccentricities. And I said challenge accepted. And, you know, we just kind of hit it off from there. And then I started to let him know about my side gig. Yes, where you would rob people's homes. And I had to admit, that was rather fun. Yeah, his life of being a squeaky clean politician didn't last long, which is, you know, politicians. And she goes back to painting.
Right. Gears turning in Maze's head. Manic pixie dream girl. Life ruiner. Interesting. Gears turn. My relationship to Dia?
Uh-oh.
Life repeats itself.
Grips your shoulder. Don't end up like me, son.
Don't do it. You'll never smile again. Not because, like, you have to, but, like, because you
He
don't
doesn't
want to.
smile in the first place!
What do you know? You don't know anything about me.
Yeah, you know, I think about, Maze and Conrad probably have some similar problems.
Yeah. Conrad just, like, sets the poppers down. And, yes, we went from there. And of course, we started getting involved with the Veritas Legion. And you see that as he says that, Victoria, just totally ruins a part of her painting. She slowly turns. Yeah, I guess I did tell you that, didn't I? Wait, you already told him? Uh-oh.
I mean, I already knew, so...
All right, well, we started to see an opportunity. More a forced opportunity. We were in a bad position. I was in, a position of power. And the Veritas Legion wanted to take it for themselves, so I offered it might be more beneficial to have a vampire in that seat instead. So that covered our tracks for a little bit, allowed us to blend in. And then, shortly after that, she looks over. Connie turned me, and we've been together ever since. so the marriage before was like the real reason we hooked up, and then we're both. It's a whole thing. I don't want you to think that I only sit with him because we're both. Dear, shush, we know. Like very gentle from him.
It's a sweet story. I imagine your chicanery from your early life helped your chicanery in your later life dealing with the Veritas Legion.
Mm-hmm. Yep. While I was painting them, I would explore the home and gather any documents or information that seemed valuable.
And by the sounds of it, it was.
Yep. Yeah, I'll be real. I feel like that all spiraled a lot more than we planned. But it was... I think it was for the best. Conrad, like, cocks an eyebrow. I think it's a little bit more than, I think it was for the best. It was. It was necessary. The Veritas Legion was monstrous.
Yeah. Yeah, they were.
But that's all said and done now. Well, you two have fun with all of this. I'm going to go put together one of my new little miniature boats, if you don't mind. And Victoria spins and looks at you. That sounds like a family activity if I ever heard one.
Everyone's blood runs colder.
Doesn't that sound fun? Conrad, you see him just like freeze, his hand like gripping the doorknob. Yes. Looks over shoulder. What a fun family activity.
Yeah.
Join me, won't you, Mr. Myers? Yes! Oh my god, let's go!
Come into the laboratory.
I think at this point, Maze takes out the little crossbow bit. Yeah, I've been wrapped up into a nonsense.
You get a ping in your brain from Red Path.
You okay? Your heart rate's a little woo.
I'm okay. I'm just in rapture.
Yep.
Red Path serving up pasta.
What does that even mean?
What are you talking to? Jacques just looks over.
Oh, the personal demons. Don't worry about it.
There was a moment where she went around the corner and didn't see you, and she almost yelled, "Maze!" And then you come around and say, "Oh, hi, we went this way." Okay. And she flops herself down.
You didn't know where your son was or thought they were dead for like hundreds of years, and now as soon as he's out of sight for 5 seconds, he's disintegrated!
Maze internal just... So this is what family's all about. Huh. I don't know about this, I'll be honest.
Today we will be building the Wave Smasher. Have a seat. And so, for fucking hours, you just sit here putting
Jesus
this goddamn
Christ.
boat together.
Steps out for a second, comes back to check on your progress.
Are you winning, son?
No.
Holy fuck, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, that all that happens. Oh boy. Oh boy. So was there anything else that Peeps wanted to do?
It hurts.
Well, unfortunately, I don't have a wacky family comedy scene to enact, nor I
Me
think
either.
Nash. Yeah.
Shame that we don't.
Nash is walking down the road. Dad.
I'm back, son. We can be
He
a
points
family
at a dog
again.
pulling boxes.
I'm moving boxes.
Dad?
I think at some point during the night, Red Path probably dimension doors onto the Laurie estate just so nobody follows him. He's like, all right, bye.
Yeah, you can easily do that. Yeah. So, yeah, your dad, as you leave, I don't need this dramatic music for your dad.
Oh my god.
He's just like, hey man, thanks a lot. This meant a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he probably gives him like a hug again, and Red Path's just like, he's weirded out by these hugs, but at the same time he's accepting that this is something that he needs.
Yeah. So here, I will move
Dude,
you.
Dia, if we can't have our family thing, we can have our own found family.
Come on, let's hug.
Yeah.
Let's hug.
Sometimes a family can be two actually related people. A hyena, a random woman, and the small creature they poached and put a bow tie on. and their prisoner in the basement.
And the telekinetic cow. We can't forget about the telekinetic cow.
And the small bird that you're looking after and forgot to give back.
Yeah. So let's see here.
And the 12 baby bears.
Did you guys want a scene, or did you?
I mean, I don't have anything in particular.
No, I don't have anything.
No, I
in
think
mind.
your next crack at a scene is passing a break enchantment roll.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
So, actually, there will be something slightly else that happens. Let's see here.
Emmett busting on through, don't mind me.
I'm about to bust.
Oh shit.
Swag.
Dia,
Yeah.
as sleep comes to you,
Oh, I do get a family.
Let's
you
go.
do get a family scene.
This sucks.
Can you see?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
Dia, as you sleep, you have this strange dream, similar to one you had a few nights ago, where you kind of look around and you can't see too far out, but you can feel it. Well, no, actually, you can't. There's clearly an immense amount of heat.
But I can't feel it.
You can't feel it, not at all. And you see dozens of people laughing and talking and interacting with one another, but you can't remember what they looked like. I mean, you remember what they tasted like. And there's a couple of instances where you tell me, what do you want to do in this moment?
Do I have control of my actions?
Yeah, you seem to have control of your actions in this moment.
Okay. She finds herself in this space, and after a couple seconds kind of getting her bearings, in character,
Yes.
how apparent is it to me that this is a dream like the one before? Is it fully obvious? Am I lucid in that way, or am I?
It's interesting where it's like very clearly, because of how detailed and specific a lot of this is. It's definitely a memory, but because it's also a dream, you are able to kind of interact with it in a way.
Okay. I think seeing that she can't feel the heat, and she looks around and sees all these anonymous people, the curiosity wins out immediately, and she's gonna take her hand. First of all, is it her body?
You look down and it's Addis. You notice that you're much taller as well, like a good 2 feet taller, probably at least. And it is Addis all the way down, or at least how you know him.
Yeah. At least my vision of him. Am I taller than these people, or are these the same? Are they similar in stature to me?
You are taller than a vast majority. There's like 1 or 2 individuals that seem like they could be like just under your chin, but that's like the closest in height anyone is.
And do I have any by dream logic informing how you just like know things in dreams even if they don't make any sense. Do I have any inkling of what my purpose is here?
You recall that there was a big battle that happened very recently, and you were spectacular. Maybe a little too spectacular. And, it's the kind of cool off from such an encounter for the fighting over the city of Brass. And you were told to go to the weapons locker. That's what you are. You're a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
But you thought, no, I would like to be with my comrades, the ones that I fought with. I didn't bleed with them, but I still fought with them. And so you marched on out.
I see. Okay. Then I think when she starts to stick a hand out into the fire to see if she can feel that, but as soon as she realizes that she is just fully in Addis's body right now, she realizes she definitely won't. So instead of that, she draws that hand back and turns around, and she's gonna walk over toward this one free seat here.
Yeah, and as you approach, there's still some laughing and talking and whatnot, but this table gets real quiet, and then so does this one. And as you get every step you take, your footsteps sound louder and louder as it just deafens everything around, as everyone just stops and is like, oh. It's not a thing of out of hatred or anything like that. It's a oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. She's gonna bend down and drag this chair out from under the table. And is it comically impossible to fit in this chair or merely a bit tight?
It'll be tight. And the big thing that you notice is this is a big stone chair. It is trivial for you to move. And you notice that as you pull it out, without even trying, the claws or the claws on your fingers actually dug in like it was butter and just pulled it out to sit down.
And she will take a seat here and fold her arms over her chest and just sort of look around and see if now she can perceive any individuality on these figures.
Yeah, so you sit down, you get real close to kind of examining them, and none of them really click, especially because these two actually get up and start talking with this guy of yo, what the fuck? What is Addis doing here? And this gentleman to the left of you is you can tell that as now that you're here, the one to your left is a man of some sort. The one in front of you is fairly short, so maybe a Duragar, if you had to guess, just with your own knowledge. And then you notice that this person here, they are eating some sort of soup, but even with them just holding it, it seems like it's boiling a little bit. So could be an Ifrit of some sort. Yeah, and the Duragar directly in front of you. So, how are you, Addis?
Do I have a sense of how I am?
You can tell me. What do you think you're feeling in this moment of just oh wow, this is a lot of kind of just rude energy to be getting.
Yeah. I think she thinks about that for a moment. I'm well. And how about you?
Good. Good.
Made it through battle unscathed?
More or less. And he like gestures to his arm, and it's weird. Even though it's this weird shape, you can very clearly see the cut. You can see the blood that's still getting soaked up in a bandage. It's weird that that's the part you remember.
Doesn't look that way to me. She points at the wound.
Well, not all of us can be like you, sir. And at a certain point, he's like, I'm gonna get refills. Anybody else want something? Yeah, I'll go. I'll just go. And he very quickly stands up. The person to your left is like, I think, yeah, I'm actually running out of time. I gotta get back to the barracks. And he very quickly gets up and like bulldozes through these two people. Yeah, you remember that one. He was kind of skin and bones, but at least the marrow was tasty. And it's weird. This Ifrit gentleman still sitting here. You finally like get a flash from someone. Well, I mean, thanks for what you do. It's definitely scary, but you kept us alive, man.
I appreciate that. Is this how it is?
How do you mean? Right,
He
I guess.
gestures one by one to the 4 empty seats. This is usual.
He kind of shrugs. Not normally, but I think folks are just, they're concerned is all. And I don't fully agree with it because I've seen what you've done. And they keep saying you're just an automaton, but like, I don't know, you talk too good for it, you know?
I think that there's been like a subconscious instinct of, oh, I'm playing Addis in this scene. That you talk too good for that breaks through to just Dia for a moment. She's like, oh, thank you. I try.
Yeah, because like we've had golems and the such, and he like kind of leans forward a bit, but you're different. I don't know. This might be a weird question because I don't even know if you're like programmed for it. How do you feel? Like, okay, like do you get mad?
Physically, I don't feel anything at all.
Oh, so even like he like takes a spoon from the soup and ting ting like taps it on your hand. Nothing.
Shakes head. But I can tell you from observation, I certainly feel emotions. I certainly feel instincts and urges.
Huh. That kind of leans back in the chair. That is not what we were told.
No? Who told you?
And it's at that point you feel like you don't feel it, but it's kind of like when you've got like numbness or whatever. You can still like sense something. Something massive grips your shoulder. I'll take it from here, dear sir. And instantaneously, this visage disappears. Dear Attis, might I remind you of your positioning within this military force for our marvelous Prince Luda of the Brass City?
Yes, you need remind me.
Yes, because you are not a very good listener, my dear greatest creation. And he gets very close, and you see all this molten steel dripping from his mouth as he gets very close. This thing is probably 23 feet tall and is just burly as hell. It's this massive, just, you're not even sure, maybe a demon? And he gets very close.
Dear Attis, you have been given a glorious boon. You shouldn't be wasting your time with what is expendable. You should be honing your skills, sharpening your blades, being ready to blow the minds of your enemy with what you can do.
Do you think it's possible to fashion oneself into something powerful and unique without simply becoming an object of fear?
This giant entity that you know as Hrothmir, the Innovator, thinks about that pointedly, and he taps his chin, and you see the splattering of molten metal as he does so.
What a fascinating question. Are you considering your own existence? How fascinating.
Gets very close.
I had presumed to have removed such limitations. Those little thoughts you have are distracting for you. You know?
Perhaps you should have focused on versatility rather than specialization.
He smiles.
You are correct. My imagination has limited me once again. But you are merely a prototype, dear Attis. Now that I understand how you function.
And he kind of shakes you a little bit. Once again, you feel nothing, but you're clearly your knees are bumping into the table.
But we can remedy that. We can remedy that. Would you like that, dear Attis?
Considers the question and answers. She doesn't know whether this actually happened and whether this conversation happened, and if it did, whether or not Attis answered and how. But she considers that, and she answers the way she thinks Attis would have wanted to answer. No, I would not like that.
Well, that is all right. You won't remember long.
And he picks you up. It's trivial for him. And starts to drag you away. And you once again look back at where you were seated before.
Mm-hmm.
And you notice something sitting there.
We will talk later.
And that's that. Dia, you wake up and just ah!
Ha! Oh. She's got, I think she's got her fleshy hand is really tightly gripped into a claw into her pillow, and she's like, nah.
Yeah. You can sense a presence.
Dia? Are you okay?
Yes. She kind of sits up in bed a little and folds her hands. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, but Like I was wandering your memories again.
Oh. I'm sorry you have to see them.
Do you remember an Ifrit?
He thinks about that.
From among your comrades?
Ah. An Ifrit.
I'm gonna have him roll, I think, just a raw intelligence check, which I don't think he's very good at, unfortunately.
I wonder why. It might have been because he got fucking lobotomized multiple times.
That can't be it.
Can't be it.
Okay, so he's actually not too stupid.
Nope, but smile.
No. I remember the crunch.
Yeah, so did I.
It's not fair to you.
You don't have anything to apologize for.
I think I
didn't-
have plenty to apologize for. But the ones that I could apologize to, well, they're long gone now.
I knew that you were made the way you are. I didn't realize that it was over a period of time with more and more of things you might have wanted to keep taken away from you.
They were seen as a distraction. A limitation. Hrothmir pointed out that a soldier loses faith in the cause when they realize as the mortars come down, they may not see their family again. Fear for losing that which they live for is weakness. But I had nothing to lose because they made sure I had no one to gain.
What happened to him? What became of Hrothmir in the end?
He just shakes his head.
I don't know. To my understanding, he was able to escape Dorora. I'm unsure how, when she was turning us into masks. Because if I am not mistaken,
Turns to you.
I believe he was or is an insatiable. What he's up to now, likely still crafting things like me.
I see. In the plane of fire, you reckon?
Nods.
Yes.
Is there that same war still raging?
Shakes his head.
No. I put a stop to that. I was dreadfully efficient. But the problem for both sides was...
You can just kind of... You can feel like he's turning to look at you.
The problem for both sides was... I was still hungry.
Shame you didn't get the chance to eat his fat ass.
Impossible. He was clever when it came to me.
You can feel your right hand moving again.
Hrothmir is immune to anything metal. It phases through him. Any sort of metal. Bizarrely, you'd have more efficiency with a rock. But cold iron, adamantine, does not matter. If it is metal, it does not hurt him, and he can mold it freely. Which is why I am what I am.
She clenches and unclenches her human hand for a second. Not immune to receiving these 5 across the face.
Why do you think I want a real body? Not even for revenge, but because then I would be so weak and pathetic he'd leave me alone. And that sounds nice. Well, I apologize for a dreadful night's sleep, but you're probably hungry. Breakfast is likely being prepared. Treat yourself, dear. I should also check on you. How are you doing?
Oh. Well, I didn't do super well yesterday evening. Gonna take another crack at it this morning. This whole situation's got so many dimensions going on. I really wish I could just cut through the knot, you know? But all the easiest and most tempting and most immediate solutions have all these annoying problems.
Yes. But you've gotten through it before. You'll manage again.
Yeah. Yeah. Just wish so much wasn't up to me, you know?
That's why you have allies. Rely on them as well.
Yeah. I'm sorry for everything that you didn't get to have, or that was taken from you. It's more than I realized. And I'm gonna do what I can to get it back for you.
You can, like, feel yourself smile a little bit, just because that's just how Addis do at this point.
I have already experienced so many things through you. I had a girls' night.
2 now, I think.
Yeah! Wow, I forgot! So, while things are not ideal, they are better. And that much I will gladly take.
Still, I'm glad it's been. I'm glad you've enjoyed the experience, but I can see why you were so eager to get to experience the world on your own terms, and that'll be a lot more fun for you, I think, than just riding around with someone else. You know,
Indeed.
Let's make it happen.
Yes, I look forward to it. It is a weird request, dear Diadem, but when I am flesh and bone, may I have a hug?
Have as many as you like, big guy.
Rad.
And he goes quiet in your mind.
So many assholes in this world and others. Oh, so many assholes, so little time.
Knock, knock, knock.
Mm-hmm.
Morning, dear.
Morning, Nash. Just got out of bed. I'm still getting ready.
Yeah.
How are you?
I okay. I heard you cough, then talk yourself a long time.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
and-
these are.
You and him, okay? Referring to Addis, but
Yeah.
forgot his name, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. No, nothing really has fundamentally changed. I just had an interesting dream, is all. Oh.
Okay.
No trouble overnight, I take it.
Had to be careful, cause Humphrey want to sleep in my hair. And
Oh.
don't want squish.
Makes sense.
Yeah, Humphrey's been
Humphrey still wants to.
Humphrey's been just hanging out with you. He's mostly been playing with the beads. He's not like trying to take them out. He's just like, woo!
Much more kind than Cooper. Cooper would try to take them out.
Little bastard.
What are your there've been a lot of words the past couple days. What do you make of all this? She scoots the chair out, sets the back against the wall so she can look straight at Nash. What are your thoughts?
He just leans against the side of the wall. He's like, I think too few people do things mess with too many people, you know?
You think there are... Is that to say you think there are more people involved than we've accounted for so far?
More like fight between these couple people affects, like,
yeah.
people die at dock just because not want one guy say things, or everybody freak out about Keeper, Blue Jay, blah blah blah, make everyone stress out just cause, ugh.
Yeah, that's politics, baby. It's kind of the worst.
Don't like it.
No, I'm right there with you. I just
Like
want to be left alone to read a book, you know? Take a nice walk.
Just want to grill for God's sake.
Yeah, no, I want Redpath to grill for me, but I would like to eat grilled food.
Yeah, talk Maze a while ago, but he, like, looks kind of out the window. Was easier when I not care. Now care too much.
Yeah.
Before, I just go up Emmett and swing. But now, I think, oh no, then make Daletta in trouble and everything bad happen, so can't just solve easy.
Yeah, it's annoying, but I think, I mean, that would still be true whether you recognized it or not, so it's probably for the best that you do.
Yeah, but now I think it and keep me up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, well, I'm sure at some point we'll be back on some kind of hunt where it's just, oh, here are all the vampires, revenants, keepers, you know, fill in the blank, and we just gotta sweep them all into the garbage, and that's the time to shine for people like you and me, frankly.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you do all magic cheaty stuff, so...
But, like, I enjoy doing it because it's fun and interesting, right? It's all of the scheming and talking to people I don't like about things I also don't like or don't care about, and I'm with you in spirit on the there's Emmett's head, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just get back to fun things.
You you've been okay with, He struggles to think of a nice word for it. Being hungry?
For the most part, yeah. I don't know. Honestly, like, I don't know yet how long I can expect to be, does air quotes, good for after an incident. It's something I'm still kind of figuring out, and I get the sense it's changing. It feels like things with me and Addis are getting blurry in a few places, and I don't know what things that's making better and what's things that's making worse. But I haven't had any sudden, really unadvisable urges lately, if that's what you mean.
Okay.
She gets up and starts getting makeup and stuff ready.
She gotta do her girl stuff. Nash has been supervisor to girl things before he knows this.
Wouldn't use that shade of blush personally.
No,
Oh,
he's bad
that
with
color?
colors, I think.
Are you going to use gray or gray? Because I think gray.
Gray spelled with an E versus gray spelled with an A.
Yeah.
Well, if ever feel that way, you can come me.
Yeah.
Either I help go through it, cause I know how deal with emotion very well. He nods to himself. Or you try get me and then not work, cause I just hold you down.
Yeah. Oh, she sets down the bottle and stops. You said something interesting a little while back. I think it was when we were on the boat. And I likened the state that I got into holding Sebastian there to the state that you go into when you're fighting at your peak. And you almost seemed you denied it immediately, and if I were inferring, you almost maybe seemed a little offended by the comparison. Is that's something you've really, like, it looks more controlled than it is? Because it doesn't look very controlled. It looks like that's when you're swinging most wild.
Get how you think that, but took very long time to be. Guess best way to say it, like, emotion work for me. I control emotion, not emotion control me. I take anger and go, okay, anger, you help me fix problem.
If you swap out anger for hunger, that is almost exactly what I need. Interesting. Well, I'm sorry if I sold you short there, then. I guess I knew you had trained for a long time for fighting and stuff. I didn't appreciate how much of that must have also been, taken immense self-control and practice.
If you let bad emotion take it, you make mistake, and don't want to make mistake. It, like, make deal with emotion, like, okay, we hit this guy really hard, but you can't hit friend by accident.
Yeah. Well, I've made plenty of mistakes, that's for sure. I would love to stop.
Again, you talk me. If you feel like emotion get in way, I help you make deal with it.
I'll think about that. I don't think I know what I need just yet, but I need something that I don't have right now.
He just nods, and he's just like content to listen to you and chill.
Actually, I know what I need. Can you grab my jewelry box from under the bed?
Oh, you keep it there? Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's not very comfy to sleep with. Even I don't go quite that far to be extra. Thank you.
I just thought you keep in table or something.
Oh no, this stuff's a little too special for that. I mean, this one, she holds up that end. This one's like legitimately magic, but the rest of this, nah, it just looks amazing. I'm not gonna lose it. Do you keep your beads in when you sleep?
Yeah. Kind of pain to take them out again.
I guess, yeah, that's a little more laborious to do and undo every morning. We should swap fashion tips sometime. I'm
Think
perfectly
mine
serious.
too dull for you. You very sparkly.
Oh, differing aesthetics doesn't get in the way of that sort of thing.
Nash walks out of this room with bright pink eyeshadow.
Anyway, I need to finish up the personal touches. So, if you'll excuse me for a few minutes, I'll be out for what I sure hope will be breakfast.
Think I smell it. So, good chance.
Yeah. And so you come out, and you can just hear, hoo, 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 hoo.
Yeah.
And Bubber seems to have learned a little bit more about the flute and is trying. And every time he finishes playing the last note, he turns to Red Path like, oh! Like, did you hear? Did you hear?
Okay, what's the next note?
Sephiroth. You ask him, what's the next note? And he like, looks down at the flute.
Keep going.
Like clearly nervous now.
Ah, great. You gave it anxiety.
He's gotta learn somehow.
There are more notes? I wasn't told of this.
Meanwhile, Red Pat's just there trying to read a book, and all he can hear is.
It's like the same 5 notes over and over again. And Karstock looks over. I'm positively proud of the little musician. He's quite impressive, really. And his missus. God, I'm drawing a blank on what her name is for. Sienna.
Sienna.
Yeah, she looks over. Yes, I appreciate you, Redpath, trying to push him to do other notes, because that's all he's got. It's amazing. It's grating. It's getting there.
Do you have any other small instruments?
Hold on. I have an idea. I might regret this. She reaches into the cupboard, pulls out like 2 little pots, and then like sets them on the table, and then puts a wooden spoon in his mouth. Okay, like this. And she... And Bubber like, huh! Like opens his mouth, almost drops the spoon, quickly grabs it before he does.
Yeah, this isn't better.
Ooh,
Oh, just like back home.
My boy's got the rhythm and the rhyme.
No, Bubber. And it's just like, non-stop! And then finally she's like, no, like this. And he tries. Oh, actually, wow, hold on. Like, tilts her head. That's not bad, but
This is scientific. You should write this down.
Yes, I am actually. Hold on. And she pulls out a little notepad, and you notice that Sienna has like multiple little notepads next to her, and or on like her waistband, and she pulls out one and starts writing in it. This is very clearly for each of the animals to like keep track of them. She's like, huh, wow, far more intuitive than I thought. Interesting. But anyways, she finishes writing her notes. Oh, good morning, Dia. How are you feeling?
Morning. I'm feeling all right. I see Redpath is not making breakfast.
No. We felt it was important that we handle cooking. It looks like he cooks all the time, and while I don't think it'll meet his level of skill, we thought it was important that we try anyways. It's nothing fancy. We are
just like tilts his head over to Dia, and you can hear like metal creaking kind of sound, and he just looks at her with a very dry, tired, half asleep face.
Oh, did you not have such a great night?
No, I'm just exhausted in general, Dia. I have depression.
Whoa. Okay. I'm sorry. Do you want to go back to bed?
No, that won't fix it. I just need to be awake and do things.
Okay.
He just puts his hands up like, oh, what do you want?
She scratches, stands in front of him. Literally the first thing she thinks of, she puts out, she can only do one hand because the other is Addis, puts out a hand. Patty cake?
It might wake me up. Something rhythmic that's not looks at the pans and the buckets. Bad.
Pans and the buckets and the wood
Sue,
and
the
spoon.
Him and patty cake might help improve your dexterity with Addis too, so like that's
Yeah,
not bad
okay.
enrichment.
Okay. So shall we roll for patty cake?
Yeah, roll for patty cake. Fuck
What is
it.
this, a fucking
I love
dex,
playing
dex check? What is
TRPGs.
this?
I guess this is just a dex check.
Is this a reflex save, isn't it?
I mean, I guess you could do a reflex save if you've never done
Oh,
patty
man,
cake
I don't-
because you're
I don't know
reacting.
why.
No, he
this-
definitely knows how. Got a little sister. Okay.
You got a little sister.
Good. If you want...
Oh, yeah. You guys patty cake.
Okay.
Very nearly too sad to patty cake.
Oh, what a fucking travesty, bro.
Okay, you're actually... I don't mean this to sound insulting. You're better at this than I assumed you would be. I guess you have a little sister. It makes sense. You've
Yes,
probably...
and I do pat cakes.
You patted your cake in your time.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone sitting in the fancy chair?
Doesn't seem that way.
Now I am.
Yeah.
Definitely puts her feet up on the coffee table also.
Yeah. And so, yeah, more or less what happens is Sienna and Karstock bring out these nice little, like, caramel rolls and bacon with some sausage, eggs, hash browns. It's a full meal, and it's decent. Here, I can actually...
Yeah, I'm sure Dia is both very grateful for this and silently thinking like this is good. This is not anywhere near at the level of Redpath's
Oh, no.
family.
No, not at all. Not at all. Red Paths is like way, like the whole family as well is just way better.
These maple whatevers, like they're pretty good, but they're no punch you in the dick croissants.
Yeah. And I assume at some point someone messages Maze of like, hey, we're at the Laurie estate.
Yeah, let me just send him a text. That's Dia's problem.
Yeah. The last I heard from Maze was he's been drawn into a nonsense. He didn't sound like he was in danger, so I didn't
No, he
question
certainly
it.
didn't, but I didn't ask anything else. I didn't want to elaborate.
Yeah,
so-
she'll phone Maze. Hey Maze, you up? You all right?
I've learned so much about the parts of boats, dear.
Do you like them more or less than peppers?
I don't know.
Okay. Maybe you can contemplate that on your way here. The rest of us ended up at the Laurie estate. I'm gonna try and jog Armella's memory.
That sounds productive.
You sound... Did you get decent sleep? Are you alright?
Where
You,
is
you sound dead inside, is all.
It was a lot, dear. I'll be fine.
Wait, I thought you were going to see Conrad about the Wandering Woods.
I did do that, yes.
Okay. So, where and how did you end up learning about boats?
Conrad took great pains to explain all of the bits he was putting on the boat.
That doesn't sound like something he would do.
And yet it was.
Well, you can tell us all about. There's a nice family breakfast going down.
I'll see if I can get out of my own family breakfast.
Maze!
Victoria opens the door. You're like under the covers. Maze, where did you go?
Yeah. So, yeah, Maze, why don't you give me a diplomacy check to convince Victoria to let you leave before breakfast?
Oh, they were gonna hold us captive, but in a different way.
Yeah, sure. My diplomacy is not good.
I'm sure you'll do great. Yep.
Maze just makes the succinct point of, I have important things I do regularly. I need to go.
And she's like, okay. And Conrad's like, he's literally saving the city. Let him leave. He doesn't need to eat my breakfast. Besides, it's more for us. So, Maze just leaves. And not too long later, Maze, you come on in, and everyone, like Karsak welcomes you in, and yeah, you take part in this little breakfast. So now that the whole party is back together, what is your next move?
Well, maybe I should go ahead and futilely roll some more dice to see if that's gonna pan out.
We bring some fucking bacon and eggs down to Armella, like, does this jog your memory? No, this is peasant food.
Yeah, no, I feel like you can't fail another break enchantment.
Hang on, can I fucking, like, heroism you or some shit? What the fuck?
I don't think
Unfortunately,
heroism
I don't think heroism is gonna apply on caster level checks. I'll tell you what might, though. Actually, why don't you confirm for me one way or the other, Will? I prepared one of my newly learned spells this morning, Bit of Luck. Do you reckon this can be used? It talks about adding to a D20 rolls result.
Let's see here.
It says an attack roll or a skill check. I guess not.
Yeah, I guess, if it says specifically attack roll or skill check.
Yeah, no.
Wow, that's good.
Not technically a skill check. It is a good spell, but it sadly will not avail me of anything here. But it's okay. I prepared 3 more break enchantments, and I have my bonded objects.
That means you can get 3 more 8s! Oh, shit!
Oh, wow!
shit.
Or 15 more 8s, 20 more 8s, even.
Oh, don't jinx it.
Let's fucking go. Okay. Plus 10. I wish I had anything that could give me bonuses on caster level checks.
There's
but
not
I
a
don't
lot
have
of
anything.
things that
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, I
Other
don't-
than,
I
like,
do-
feats, yeah.
And most of them
Yeah.
are for, like, casting defensively,
Oh man, this is such the appropriate music, because it's exactly the music you have when you're like, alright, I'm gonna click this prompt, I improbably failed, now to reload.
Yep. God, I don't think there's a game I've safe scummed more than Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous.
Yeah.
It really asks it of you.
Alright, so, several more times with healing. Here we go.
Spirit bomb, everybody.
I'm gonna cast Break Enchantment. Number 1, baby. I'll mark it off on my sheet. Let's go. So, I'll roll some dice.
Yeah.
I'll just use my same arbitrary 5 from before.
Are you here to cast your strange illusions
Are
on
you
me
finally going to cast a spell? Not yet, you're not.
again? I believe she's trying to
There
hypnotize.
you go! Finally, 1! Exactly 1!
Okay.
Oh, 12.
No.
Oh.
No.
God.
Alright, 1! 1, alright.
All right, one.
Okay, so theoretically, I guess that's like the second most recent memory modification, which
Strange.
might still be
Oh,
recent
Miller,
and,
go buy
and
me a
relevant.
hoagie from the shelf.
Yeah. All right, I'm trying to think because now I'm going through the Rolodex in my head of
Yeah,
like, okay,
You don't,
what?
also, you don't have to be like super precise about it. If there's just a recent one that's not the most recent one, I'd accept that as a reasonable result.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what you would get is she's as you're casting the spell, she's like, oh, hello. So wait, I'm sorry. What did you just do? So I know what is happening in my brain.
I just theoretically undid at one or more instances in which you were enchanted to have your memory modified. So if something suddenly, if you remember something differently, now you're remembering the real version of events.
Okay. Let me think about this because there's a lot of different things to think through. I guess.
I mean, I'm expecting it'll be one or more times when you were made to wait around somewhere, but I don't want to rule anything out because we might not know everything that has been done to you.
Okay. So she thinks about it for a bit. So let's see here. I guess. There was I was waiting in alley, and I was approached.
Do you know when this was?
Oh, sorry, I'm thinking.
Take your time.
This would have been. Oh God, this would have been. I guess that would have been like 5 days ago. I don't have a specific.
Okay, well,
but
just tell me what you got.
The individual it was. Oh my God, it was Emmett. And he was just checking in to see what information I had regarding the academy, if there'd been any rumors bleeding through, as well as he had a hypothesis as to what happened.
Oh.
Was this after the big incident that we were involved in there?
Yes, this was definitely shortly after the academy kerfuffle, and I told him no, I hadn't learned anything in that regard, and that's right. My mission was also to keep tabs on you. Ha, sorry. And so I informed him of your movement patterns of that I knew at least. And I warned him about our conversation at Kiss by the Sea.
Which conversation was that?
Well,
When they were having lunch.
When you were
Regal
having
was there.
lunch, yes, and my dear friend Regal was there, and
right.
you was talking more and more about Emmett and Conrad and Oleander, and it makes sense now. I instinctually felt the need to butt in and tell you not to. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now. Yes, okay.
What did he
Okay.
say his theory was, or did he disclose that at all?
I mean, this is honestly going to be a luck roll because that's honestly like a fuck up on Emmett's part.
To have blabbed about
Yeah.
that?
His suspicion, he mumbled it. I think he said Oleander.
Huh.
Interesting.
Shrugs.
You just heard that one word, no context, I take it?
Not much more than that. Like I said, he kind of mumbled, and the man wears a helmet, so it's hard to hear.
Okay.
I don't know what happened at the academy, the specifics at least. Yes, and then then he just walked away, and then I just stood there for like 5 more minutes. Ugh. Weird. I don't like this. This is weird.
And so, was this one of the times that he had you waiting somewhere in the cloak, or did he just walk up to you in your shop and have this conversation?
I was cloaked. He knew precisely where to find me. And
Do you know what part of town this one was? What alley it was?
oh, boy howdy, where would that have been? This it was definitely on the lower part of Leviara. Kind of in the I wouldn't call it the merchant district, but not especially far from the tiny bucket.
Okay.
Hey, the fucking cow didn't escape, did it?
No, you look in and you see Betsy is sleeping in the house. That's fair. You know what? That's on me. I don't need you to be having fear moments.
Yeah, well, it would very much surprise me for you to be like, oh, Betsy's escaped again. We're just gonna do that encounter again.
Yeah, but in character, cause to be paranoid.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, this is good. This means it is possible to undo these changes to your memory. It's not easy. Emmett must be a pretty powerful spellcaster. More powerful than me, I would say, based on my rate of success. Then again, looks at the dice.
I have a question. How long have you known Emmett? Even just known of him?
Oh, known of him. Oh, I mean, he's been here for a couple of years, but he doesn't. It's more recently that he's been like very front and center and vocal for the keepers and whatnot. I mean, there were long periods of time that I thought he just left.
Is that because, does that coincide with Magnus leaving Leviara, or perhaps the Deleta's announcement of Leviara leaving the coalition?
I mean, both happened near the same time, Leviara left the coalition, and then Magnus was removed. A little before that, actually.
Would you be able to recall around, I don't know, what seasons? Because maybe what fashions were in during the times Emmett wasn't around?
Oh,
look at you, Redpath. Finding the specialist knowledge.
Yeah, it helps pique the memories.
She thinks about that. Emmett was probably more around, I guess, it's hard to say. I know he was not nearly as present during our hotter summer months, just because, Leviara gets very toasty.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't stop most of the keepers in Blue Jay. And yeah, I would say the summer months especially, but spring, no, I guess more like fall, and then for sure winter season, not present.
Okay. He writes these down, these notes, but
Do you have any specific months you can think of?
Well, like I said, very specifically, like the summer months, just, not very common. A little bit in the early part of fall, so I guess that would be September and October. And then kind of from that point onward, not very common at all.
Okay.
Well, did you experience any discomfort when I cast the spell, or was it just a little weird?
It just felt a little weird.
Okay. Do you mind if I try again?
Whew, all right. I mean, I'm really not in a position to say no.
Well, I would respect it if you said no. That felt too weird, and if it hurt your brain, I wouldn't want to. I'd feel like I was interrogating you, like I was trying to torture information out of you. Which isn't
But strictly speaking, I don't think she could leave the range of the spell if she
Well,
wanted.
no, I'm saying if she strongly objected, I would not cast it.
She puts her hands up. If this helps me not be here anymore and have even a fraction of my old life back, whatever.
I hope it will. All right.
Well, fucking better.
I'll try again. Okay. Here goes. We're gonna roll some more dice, see if we can get anything
we love
else.
dice. Let's
We
go.
love dice in this house. Haha!
We do love dice.
Where's the dice?
Oh, I saw you jiggle off that 14, you fuck! Alright.
Oh my god.
Da, da, da,
Come
da,
on.
da, 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 da,
Come
da.
on.
Wow.
There you
Oh,
go.
okay.
Hey,
I saw that 4.
Yeah, I saw that 4. Try
No.
again. No.
God.
Wow.
Do I get 1?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So we get some stuff from further back, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see here. I'm also like going based off of like how many actually have happened for her.
Right,
Yep.
of course.
Yeah, 'cause we have no idea, I suppose.
So with that then, she kind of grips her head. Ah, okay, that one felt a little more. It's fine. It's fine. It just hurts a little bit. Holy shit. Okay.
Whoa.
I don't
Suddenly
maybe
very excited.
no. It's more just like you start thinking things and it's a totally different thing, but it totally happens. It's weird experience. Okay. I don't know how valuable this will be. This was the night of Hunch's death. Okay?
Sounds pretty valuable.
Okay. I remember, because I told you before
This
that
was
I had
before we showed up.
yes, okay. So I had gotten a very I wouldn't call it a frantic message, but a far more impromptu one than usual, telling me that I needed to move outside and not be visible for 15 to 20 minutes in the next 5 minutes. Just
Okay.
get moving. And so I did, and I got there, and it was a cloaked figure. They stumbled into the alleyway. They were dripping with I assume water. It didn't look like blood.
Mm-hmm.
And they gripped me, and they had the voice modifier and everything. And they told me that I needed to wait here for another 20 minutes at least. Oh my god, it was way more time than I realized. And so I agreed to do so. And they told me to help the next customer with a human woman with brown hair that was indecisive between 2 shirts. To make sure to do that. Okay.
Huh.
They predicted who your next customer would be?
Yeah. That's so strange. Dia and Nash.
Mhm.
Can you both give me an intelligence, or I will also allow a wisdom check? Because I'm not going to say,
like, give me a will save.
Thank God.
You've
Yeah.
triggered Armella's mind
Yeah.
bomb.
Yeah, I'm not gonna-
fail-safe.
I'm not going to have it be perception because this is like
Yeah.
a recollection thing.
As a
Okay.
quick aside, because this is one of the weirder things about Break Enchantment, this is an area of effect spell, so if by circumstance any of us have been enchanted at some point, these rolls would also be affecting us.
Huh.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, there's only one instance we have knowledge of from me, but that shouldn't have changed anything. But yeah, I guess, I don't know if there is anything else, Will.
Yeah. Okay. So what did you roll an intelligence?
No, sorry, intelligence was it?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
got
If
distracted
you can.
there.
No, you're good.
Yes, here we go. Very good roll from Nash.
Yeah, okay. So you kind of him and haw about it a little bit, and you're like, I don't know. I can't really think of anything. Nash, you start to consider it a bit more and more about what this like new bit of information means. And I'm also just double checking myself here, quite frankly, very
Mhm.
quickly,
Mhm.
to make sure that I'm not leading you astray. And then fast forward a little bit. Beep, beep, beep.
Aram has a thought, but I'll wait to voice it until you give
Yeah.
Nash whatever from this.
You remember that when you first walked into the Smooth as Silk, there was a woman talking with Armella, and she very clearly was like holding Armella's hand and like was whispering something. But the moment you two walked in, she walked back into the changing room with the clothing. You never saw that woman again.
Ah.
Yeah, Nash relays that info to the party.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Yep.
That's where the head explosions were coming from, I'll wager. I'm pretty sure we walked in literally as Emmett in disguise was modifying your memory to remove this.
Oh. Oh.
There's something else I want to clarify, though. You said in this case, it was not, the person who showed up was not dressed in the appearance of Emmett. They were wearing the cloak.
Yes, this person was very specifically wearing that cloak I'd mentioned before.
And does that mean you, in this case, were not wearing the cloak? Or does it mean there was more than one cloak?
That means... Well, so, hold on. What do you mean by two? Because the cloak that I was given, it's just a regular cloak. Wait, what are you talking about? That's right, you said you found a cloak that...
Yes. Left in the back of your store on a rack was the cloak matching the person we'd been pursuing, and it has a protective enchantment as well as that voice modulation enchantment.
Mace, you do have it with you, don't you?
Yeah,
she like presses up against the glass. Let me make something abundantly clear. The one that I had did not have such an enchantment because, well, I guess they didn't think it was important enough for me to have. Not to mention, if by chance I needed to make myself known in the public, I could just lower the hood very easily.
Yeah.
Set up.
So to help clarify, just because this is a weird detail and this has not been brought up until now directly towards Armella. Armella has always been described to have, like, even at the initial like riot that happened, because Deletta straight up said, I saw an Undine in a hood that was like of purple skin. That clue doesn't match with the information that in Smooth as Silk, you found the one that covers the face. Because there's no way she would have seen it.
Yeah.
Which now creates the information of, oh, there were two cloaks. One is actually enchanted and must have been owned by whoever is working with Emmett. That was dumped off there as a like, well, this thing is worthless now. I gotta just get rid of it.
Two cloaks chilling in a hot store.
Yeah. So that was the clue that I had hinted at before, and understandably, it's not an immediate one to pick up.
Yep. Okay. That's useful to know. Yeah, in that case,
And you said when this person approached you in the alleyway, and you said you noticed that they were dripping or something. Did you happen to see any skin on them at all? Did they look injured or anything?
They wore gloves as well, but the gloves on the must have been, I'm trying to think now, must have been the left hand looked terrible. Like it actually had some like frost on it, which is weird for Leviara.
Yeah, imagine that. Okay. Yeah, there's no reason they would have been careless enough to just show you their face at that time. And they didn't give you their cloak. They just told you to stand there, they left, and then I guess the last thing they said to you was to wait up on this customer who was going to approach you, who was very definitely not them.
Yes, there was, you're actually reminding me, sorry, it's weird, you're like jogging my memory that I just got. The other detail they said is, when I make it back, just hide the cloak in the back room. Just get rid of it.
Your
And-
cloak.
My cloak, the one that is not magical. And
Yeah.
so I did that very quickly after I returned back to my office. Oh my god, and then they must have
Makes
swapped
perfect sense.
them.
Yep.
I,
wanted.
I'm so sorry. I genuinely was not aware of this detail. Well, I guess I was, but
It's all right. There's been a lot of very foul play going on.
And is that the only new thing you recollect? Can you search your memory a little more?
All right. Thinking. The only other one, was it? It was must have been, I guess, almost 2 weeks ago now. This cloaked figure approached me and asked about the new mercenaries in town. What I knew about them, how dangerous they were. I had no details, and they made it very clear to look into it as best as I could. Because they had suspicions you would be problematic, but could also be fortuitous, depending on how their cards are played.
Okay. Almost surprised they bothered to erase that one from your memory. That's fairly innocuous, but I guess they didn't want to leave you any knowledge of what you had or hadn't told them.
I guess not.
All right, gang. I do technically have one more. I could fire it for the Hail Mary of if my first roll is good, maybe we get the most recent one. Although it's sort of hard to imagine there being a more recent one than the one she just described. I don't know if there's anything more we're expecting to learn from her.
No,
I guess
I think this is about as much as could be expected to wring from her.
I guess the one unclear point that hasn't really been resolved is who was in the meeting I observed where both Emmett and someone wearing the magic cloak were present, whether one of those people was Armella, whether it was someone else, like, there is that question mark, but Armella's not going to be able to answer that unless it happens to have been her.
At this point, I think we can safely surmise there's a 0% chance that person was Armella. All signs point to her just kind of being a stooge in this.
Yeah, there's no sign that she was ever actually given the magic cloak, and when I watched that meeting, that very definitely was the face-concealing, voice-altering cloak,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because you have directly engaged with this twice now, Dia. So you know that the voice on the roof when the Deletta riot was happening is the exact same weird modulated one as the one that was in the meeting, which was Emmett, Conrad, and this cloaked individual.
Okay. Okay, that does help. That does help quite a bit, actually. It's a lot more clear what actually transpired after that person teleported away from the fracas at the docks and back to you. And that could be very useful information. We're working on bringing this to light and getting you out of here actively. I'm sorry we can't get you out just yet, but you won't have long to wait, I assure you.
Thank you. I know I dropped the ball here. I know I'm not completely innocent, but I didn't know we'd get to this level. I really didn't.
We've figured as much at this point.
Now, here's a question, actually.
Mm-hmm.
You have your fingers in a lot of pies, and I'm sure you and Regal have gossiped about it plenty of times. Has there ever been any sort of suspicion or notice of Emmett around any particular people who weren't keepers, or just people you didn't expect?
Oh,
He's a popular figure in the social circles, so you'd think that people would notice one thing or two about him.
as in specifically like who else Emmett might be trying to communicate with.
I mean,
Yes, and any individuals who he trusts or anybody who he concerns himself with.
really any information about him. You kind of avoided the topic when we asked you before.
Well, now the floodgates are open.
Right. Off the top of my head, Emmett remains close to as many keepers as possible. When it comes to Leviaran officials, the most notable ones, I guess, would be like Pride and communicating with Conrad, just because, you know, they're both involved with the law. Madame Delotto as well. Not as often, but she is the portmaster, so it's useful. Outside of that, no, Emmett keeps to himself for the most part. She puts a finger up. It's not a single person, but the community. Emmett loves to engage with the public and just, you know, brighten faces. Make sure everyone's having a jolly time, as it were. So there is that, at least.
Okay. Can I, Dia looks at the rest of the group. Can we have a quick little powwow next door?
Yeah, okay.
Of course, thank you for your testimony, Marmella. Always appreciated.
Well, thank you for trusting me and letting me say my piece. A lot of people probably wouldn't.
Is there anything you want down here? I can ask Karstock.
Wine. That would be fun, but I understand if not. If that's the case, then, like, juice.
Yeah, that's definitely a no-no.
Okay, then juice. Just, like, flops down.
You need a book or anything? You look dreadfully bored.
No, Betsy takes them.
How? It's a solid wall.
Carefully.
Betsy just
jeez.
teleports the books out of there.
Betsy takes them and to do what?
Eat them,
Gmod
probably.
Is she
into the
even
wall.
literate?
Yeah, no, she reads books.
So,
Oh, you're right, she does.
I will say, the reason this book is here is one, it's layer hell and I can't get it again.
Yeah.
But when you first walked in, I had rolled passive perceptions and everyone failed to notice that the book had fallen there because Betsy is like levitating it in front of the glass door or the glass to read it.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Alright, what's the purpose of this powwow?
There's something else that it might be useful to ask Armella about, but I'm not sure of my place with this one, and it concerns a lot of people, but potentially, especially you, Maze. I'm really worried about what Conrad told us yesterday. I mean, he told us a lot of things, but, you know, the one he told us. The one he told us and not Amaranth.
I figured that one would be something of a sticking point, yes.
So, it's not... Oh, jeez. Okay. I don't want to make the situation more complicated than it already is, or more complicated than it needs to be. But while I first dismissed that as kind of an incidental, small world, unfortunate murder kind of thing.
Of course not.
There's a substantial chance it's related, yes.
We still don't... What worries me is we still have no idea how Lucine found out that Conrad was a vampire.
Well,
And
one would assume that if she was that close with Gladiolus, he probably would have told her as insurance. My father, I had asked him about it, and he said that she had been spending quite a lot of time down near the docks afterwards.
yeah, it's possible he told her, except he apparently didn't tell Pride, who was his partner. So
It's not impossible he wrote something down, though.
No,
Of things
certainly
that,
true.
That a romantic partner could have access to.
But whether or not he told her, if she found out somehow, if she investigated, and most importantly, if she knows, the worst thing that could possibly happen would be for us to very publicly accuse Emmett of all these crimes, leaning on the credibility of Conrad and Amaranth, and then have Emmett turn around and reveal that, which, while we can reasonably say that A, there might not be proof, and B, it's not really relevant to whatever crimes Emmett's had committed in the meantime, it'll destroy Amaranth's trust. It'll be impossible for them to present a united front if that gets dropped on her out of the blue then, and we can't deny it, and he knew, and we knew. I don't like my odds of being able to pretend that I didn't know in a way she'll find believable. I think we need to look into this a little, and I think we might have to tell her. And that makes me feel conflicted, because even though I have no interest in covering up for a very actual murder that he may have committed, I know it's gonna cause a problem for him and Victoria, and I know that's gonna affect you, Maze. So, that's what I think. What do you guys think?
Well, personally, I spoke with him on the subject, and frankly, I can kind of understand his motivations for having done what he did. It's not particularly different from actions that we've taken. But
Is there more to it than protecting his own secret?
it was to protect his own secret, but also, in his own words, he trusted Gladiolus about as far as he could throw him. Saw a lot of Oleander in him, power hungry and the like, and he didn't seem like the sort of guy who would make this city any better.
I have no way of knowing if that was true or not. I'd be a little leery of taking Conrad's word for it, since it was part of his argument for justifying why it wasn't so bad to have shot him dead.
Sure, but I'd also be leery of Amaranth's take on it of, that's my brother and I should avenge him.
God damn, what is his name? Nice guy, my dad.
Jacques?
Jacques, yeah, didn't Jacques say that it was, known that Gladiolus wanted Conrad's position?
I would think it's something that,
It's an easy point to connect.
Yeah, it's a connection that you could go, he might not have outright said it.
Yeah, okay.
But it wouldn't be surprising if, the lead up to this confrontation with Conrad, if he was, reaching out to people being what do you think about the Lawmaster? And, kind of stirring the pot in that way.
So, I guess then the question is, do we think there's a way to find out, if Gladiolus was aware something aside from... Do we think that Gladiolus investigated the Lawmaster out of a sheer want to steal his job, or did he have ulterior motives?
If it was a matter
Did
of
he
good
stumble
faith or
upon
not.
the vampire thing, or was that something someone was leading him to?
It'll be sort of difficult to figure that out post-mortem, but I feel like that information might be pertinent to figuring out...
Well, Pride would have records, wouldn't he?
Yes, I suppose he would, but that would likely be first-hand accounts that I don't think would be particularly incriminating if they're meant to be seen by a second party.
To be honest, I'm not sure how much it matters, because it doesn't affect people very much now how good or bad of a person Gladiolus really was objectively and what his motives were. What I'm more concerned... It would mostly
just affect our stance on it.
I suppose.
Well, Amaranth seems pretty level-headed. I feel like if you came out with some truth that her brother was a bigger dirtbag than she was aware, it might rub, a little less salt in the wound when we inevitably have to tell her.
She's level-headed, but you have to be pretty level-headed to say, yeah, my brother wasn't so great, so it's okay that you killed him.
Sure, but maybe we'd be able to soften the blow enough for her to be able to control herself.
I take your point. I'm also, to be honest, I'm just so paranoid now after many prior experiences that I'm imagining crazy scenarios in which Gladiolus, the one person who would have wanted revenge on Conrad more than Lucine, would be Gladiolus. And so much about his death is still kind of unclear, and I also don't understand
You
how
don't think
pride...
he's a revenant, do you?
I don't think it's likely, but man, that part of my brain will not shut up now after everything we've seen. You know,
That would
especially-
certainly be a bad scenario, yes.
You have a means to test that.
Yeah, no, I know, I know we do. I'm just, you know, when you combine the slightly unclear circumstances surrounding his death and who knows what about it, with like the fact that, you know, Lucine found out, and maybe she just found out on her own initiative, maybe Gladiolus left a note, but you've also got this weird, there was another person there besides Emmett. Wouldn't it be wild if zombie Gladiolus was the secret double mastermind behind everything? I'm probably insane,
You know
but
who
it's
we
the
haven't
kind of
heard
thing that
shit
it would...
about?
What?
Their other sister.
What, you want to bring it up to Rosa?
Their other sister who left, and we don't know anything about. Apparently,
The
she
other
wants nothing to do
sister.
with their family.
Yep, Poppy Hairsiff.
All I'm saying is, I'm imagining scenarios in which we think we've got one up on Emmett, and we go and take our one shot, and it turns out there's some horribly crucial piece of information that we just totally overlooked that completely derails us, and we won't get another shot.
No, I understand
So
the fear. We really
so I
do
don't
need to
really-
cover our ass on this.
Yeah, I just don't want to leave that stone unturned, and so I think it might be worth asking around a little more about Gladiolus. Honestly, I don't think it would be the worst idea to go to Lucine as Lucine and ask her about it.
Go to Lucine as Lucine?
Yeah, no, like her as herself.
I don't mean us disguised as herself. I mean go to
Just
see
talk to her.
Lucine when she is Lucine and not in disguise as Emmett.
Sure, that's certainly a worthwhile angle to approach, though that does run us into the ever-present problem of reading through our minds.
Yeah, I know. It's risky still, but it's risky still, but also
It's a risk that we're probably going to have
If-
to take if we want to be thorough.
Do
If
we want any
Lucine's-
more insurance before we do that and talk to Pride first?
Oh, I think
Oh,
that's
certainly.
wise. And I think there's something else we can do to learn a little more. She takes out the orb, kind of tosses it between her hands. We could see it happen.
Oh. Yeah,
That's
I suppose...
pretty outside, though.
So,
No,
he-
actually, as I heard it, it was quite indoors.
Yeah. Yeah, so interesting. The initial confrontation takes place indoors, and Conrad can tell you where. Like,
No.
that shit's easy. Where he goes after that, you're not 100% sure, and you're sure it's kind of outside. And here's the thing. The orb of cutscenes can work outside. It's really dangerous, though.
I feel like...
Do you know how many fucking ghosts are on those docks? The amount of people who get like pulled into port and then they die within days.
I think
just on
I think
boats?
the orb of cutscenes worst case scenario might be a bit too big a hit to our credibility.
Can you remind me
Blackthorn
what
just
that is?
looking down the
What is
hill
that
like,
theorized
good God.
to be? Just like a ghost
just
storm?
unlimited ghosts.
Okay,
So what-
the ending of Ghostbuster.
Yeah, so kind of like what could happen. It's not a guarantee. It's a roll.
Yeah.
We see what happens. Is what it does is because the way the Orb of Cutscenes works, it kind of like draws from the cycle. It's a lot of supernatural energy that's very much related to ectoplasm that can draw in the spirits. And this could be any kind of spirit. This could range from like little like whatever ghosts that don't matter all the way to Phantom Crusaders. Like it could be anything that just marches on up to that area and then makes it just ghost wasteland. Now, I should also clarify. This doesn't mean like every ghost in the country goes, hey,
Oh
what's
my
over there?"
god! Oh my god, did I just figure something else out?
What do you think?
What do you think?
Did you?
Will, I'm gonna DM you.
I think I know what you're about to DM me.
It's the age-old odds coin flip. It'll either be exactly correct or so wildly off base that none of us
Oh,
will be
you
able
know
to figure
this
out
world.
how.
Yep.
Oh my Christ! Oh Jesus!
You gonna,
Yeah.
You gonna
Do
share
you
want
want to share with the class?
You can share because that's meta knowledge, and I don't think it's gonna impact anything. But yeah, you're more than welcome to.
So, if we remember correctly, this was in Dess's laboratory.
Yeah.
And where did Des run off to when
Des-
shit went wild?
When shit went wild, he made his way back to Brittlehaven, which is now known as Mist
so
Eternal.
there is him conducting similar experiments is how we ended up with Mist Eternal.
Yeah.
Now, this is a problem for a fake
another
party
day.
member.
That's a problem for one Bow Saint Bow, but not us.
I'll tell you right now, that shit has no weight in this campaign.
Yeah.
It's just
like-
cool lore that happens to be the case.
Bow Saint Bow problems.
Good luck, buddy.
I thought this was
Okay.
already known. It might have been brought up before, but like we've been doing this for years, so there's a very real chance this was. Yeah, I think in the basement it was brought up. So I think what happened was it was brought up that Des returned to Brittlehaven, but like we didn't learn anything more after that, and people kind of scratched their heads like, "Isn't that the place that the ghosts?" It was like, "Yeah, all right."
Eh. I think it
You
was.
put them there.
I think we had an inkling, given that we knew his research was with ghosts and spirits, that he was probably responsible. I don't think we had quite connected that to, like, oh, it's similar to what the Orb of Cutscenes could do in a worst-case scenario.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we've got one source in there. Do we wanna ask Armella what she knows from that time?
I suppose that's probably relevant.
Okay.
She would have been up on all the gossip.
Do. Hey, sorry,
Hey, we didn't bring you your juice.
Oh.
Oh, I'll go get it.
You know, actually, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, Red Path's going to get your juice. We did have one more question, though, which is kind of only tangentially related, but it could help us a lot.
Sure.
Do you remember when Gladiolus Hersif was murdered?
Oh, yes, that was the talk of the town for very obvious reasons. Yeah. No, so that was about 3 years ago now. It was said to be pirates or something of the sort, and I keep my ear to the ground, and I can... It doesn't take a detective to figure out, no, it wasn't pirates. No, absolutely not. Especially considering one bit of information that was released is that they called it a mugging, but there was nothing missing from Gladiolus besides, I think it was some sort of... I think it was a ring. But let's be real. Gladiolus was covered in money. Why on earth would they take some memorabilia ring?
No,
Is
that
that to say he was known to have a very special ring that was not on his person? Like, it was apparent what had been taken?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't super public knowledge at the time, but I believe Lucine had actually proposed to him.
Oh, so it was his engagement ring?
Oh, possibly. I will say, to my understanding, it was a rather fancy ring. It was just covered in sapphires or something of the sort. And people would ask what the ring is for, and he'd just say, oh, just a nice little gift, and leave it at that. Probably weren't prepared to talk about it.
I take it their engagement wasn't announced before his death then?
No. I have a lot of good little birds, and not to mention I can get people to talk. And also you just keep an eye on people, you know? I mean, she smiles, I do personal fashion for Lucine Delta, and I couldn't help but notice there was one day where she came in to get fitted for a new dress for a big old premiere, and she was the giddiest I've ever seen her. And I couldn't help but notice that same time, when Gladiolus came to pick her up and pay for the dress, like a true gentleman, he had a new little piece of jewelry that didn't match his attire at all. It looked gaudy, quite frankly. I mean, the hairstyles are all gold, white, and red, and this little blue thing, yuck. Ew, it looked bad.
Yeah, it does look really fat.
Yeah, well, casualties of fashion, am I right?
Yeah.
But probably shouldn't make that joke. He is dead.
It's been a bit. Though.
Yeah, it's long enough. It's
The chat is pointing a thing out.
What's chat pointing out?
Didn't Dia find a ring on the gymnast?
Yeah, you did find a ring. I can't imagine it was that one.
Though it was
No,
not
it was
described
just like a
to be
protection.
visually distinctive in any way.
Because the ring that you found was a ring of protection.
Yeah.
What it sounds like she's describing was just like a nice engagement ring.
Yeah.
Probably no magic whatsoever. Very good catch, though, chat. Very good catch.
Yeah, that would have been funny.
Quick.
Was it this ring? Takes it out.
I have to imagine the Hersefs arranged some sort of funeral for him then. Oleander being as torn up about it as he was.
Oh, they probably turned him to ash and threw him into the volcano.
Well, yeah, actually, kind of that.
I know. Is that a traditional?
Yes, every Hersef that dies is given a pyre death. And they are turned to ash, and then they release the ashes somewhere.
Alright. That's interesting.
It's pretty
Well,
easy to fake a body burning.
Well, yes. Although I don't know how many levels of conspiracy I want to be on right now. Let's hold off on that for a moment. Okay. And if you had to, from all the rumors you picked up around the time, if it was the talk of the town for as long as it was, and it sounds like you yourself were never convinced by the idea that he was mugged by pirates, there must have been... I can't think of a single person we've talked to about it who has said, I'm fully convinced by the official explanation. So there must have been a lot of rumor mongering about what, quote-unquote, really happened, yes?
Oh, yeah. I mean, so, this is my shit. I love this. I'm good at this. She, sits on the corner of the bed and she's just, cleaning her nails.
She's got her juice.
So, oh, thank you. This is decadent. Thank you. I've missed this sort of thing. So, obviously, yeah, it's not pirates. It couldn't have been. What dipshit pirate who knows anything about the Hersefs goes after Gladiolus, for God's sake? The man was unreasonably strong. Not to mention, the biggest thing that really wasn't made public, bizarrely enough, is that he didn't have anything taken from him. Like I mentioned, the one ring was taken, to be sure. And so there was another bit of information that I thought was very intriguing. That was kind of rumor mill, hearsay, whatever. People found blood around Gladiolus, where he was in the docks. Yeah, to be sure, easy peasy. But there are reports that there was a little bit of blood found, not in the warehouse, but kind of in between two of them. But then there's nothing between that. Based on the injuries, it sounds like, from Gladiolus, if he was mugged in that alleyway, wouldn't there have been a far more blood trailing after him to get to that point?
I see what you mean.
So my hypothesis, my little theory, if you're willing to let me spitball a little bit here.
Absolutely.
We're dealing with mages, for God's sake. Prestidigitation is so easy, but in the heat of the moment, it'd be easy to miss a spot or two, especially if you were running out of time or something of the sort. But that bit of information, no one really talks about. I'd be curious if it's even in the reports. The only reason I got that little tidbit is I was asking around the docks, because you know me, I'm a slut for details, and I started chatting with folks, and a couple of sailors had mentioned that they saw blood in an alleyway, but then was promptly taken care of not too long later.
By official authorities or by shady ne'er-do-wells?
to my understanding, it was Blue Jays that took care of it, and Conrad was present. He said it was unacceptable to have the crime scene still have these sorts of mistakes and things of the sort.
All right.
But I've also heard that he described it more to the public as it was just another shanking that took place nearby, which people bought because that's very real and it wasn't that much blood that was left.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, are you confident from having investigated it yourself? You know exactly where it was, this alley and the warehouses?
Oh yeah, easy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, it's kind of near the little bar and what have you. I don't remember what it's called because it's disgusting.
Oh, the place that serves chili.
Yes. Oh, the chili's fine, but it's disgusting there. But anyways,
The chili's fine, but the nameless NPCs are clingy as hell.
No, yeah. So it was around there, I believe. So I like to think of myself as a bit of a detective. I thought it was suspicious. It was reported that it was multiple gun wounds. You're telling me that there was no blood, like, splattered out further away from the body? What? It just hit him and then he fell down? Bullshit. Bullshit.
Oh, she's in her element now.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I'm glad we got to end with this question. This seems to have been a bit of a pick-me-up for you compared to the rest.
It is, because it's my territory. This I'm good at.
I love talking murder.
Well, not that specifically, but I like gossip and trying to figure out what's going on in this little
talk
city.
about murders. Yay! Okay. And did you ever get the sense that anyone else was sort of taking it into their own hands to try and investigate, being unsatisfied with the official line?
I mean...
Like maybe Pride Lionheart, since they were partners?
Oh, yeah. Pride and Gladiolus, well, I wouldn't describe them as, like, partners, like, you know, buddy cops or what have you. They did work together very frequently, and they relied on one another consistently, because they described themselves as the only competent ones. And I know that Pride was pretty bummed when it happened.
I'll bet.
And so he looked into it a bit more, and Conrad did too, but I don't know. Something didn't feel right about that, because I wouldn't say he interrupted the investigations, but there were so many blunders with discovering details. You know what I mean? Like, just reports not being filed correctly and whatnot. Like, really, to be quite frank, some sloppy shit. And I do know that Lucine had looked into it as well. She was
I
not.
imagine she would.
Yeah, but she's not really much of a detective. And there was a point where there was some new guy that showed up. Some guy I'd never seen before. I couldn't even tell you what his name was. He was so generic looking, to be quite frank. And he was heading up the investigation. He was questioning everyone. And it wasn't too long until, like, Conrad had actually intercepted them, had a conversation. Never saw that detective fellow again, and, yeah.
And, if I'm not mistaken, it was at some point after Gladiolus's death when Emmett first made himself known. Is that right?
I'm sorry, one more time?
So, shortly after Gladiolus's death, or sometime after it, is when Emmett first made himself known, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. And wouldn't you know, the keepers really hammered the docks for some reason. It was weird, because, like, we'd had keepers around the town for a while, but then they started poking their nose into that very specifically. And I found that to be very odd. Just because, like, hello, you're late to the party. The dude's already burned. I've said dude for two different characters that wouldn't say dude. Like, hello, they burned the body already. It's over. What are you still looking for? And not to mention, they're so disconnected from the process.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine that they were particularly invested when it had happened.
I mean, they definitely were curious about it, but
It's still a
You
bit
know.
delayed.
yeah. And, I mean, what are the keepers going to provide that the Blue Jays wouldn't already? Like, no one saw what truly happened.
This extremely generic investigator.
Correct.
Was he before or after that?
He was before Emmett arrived.
And he got into it, and Conrad took him aside, gave him a stern talking to, and he just left town?
I assume he just left town. I never saw him again. But I did notice that Conrad seemed to be more content to just let people do their investigations. I would wager it was mostly because there was nothing to see at that point. And so much time had passed.
And after that guy disappeared, so after that is when Emmett first showed up.
Mm-hmm. If I had to guess, that detective was
Yeah.
probably paid for by Lucine, because
That would make sense.
she's, like I said, she's not some private investigator or anything of the sort. She's just an actor, a singer. I've spoken with the woman a dozen times. I love her to death. She's so pleasant, so funny, and charismatic. She's not a genius, all right?
It sounds like she still went and pounded the pavement, though, right? She asked
Oh,
around
yeah.
the docks and stuff, but I guess that would imply then, as far as you know, nothing ever came of it?
To my understanding, I mean, she wouldn't tell me any of the details just because it was heartbreaking. The weeks, damn near months after he had passed, she canceled all of her shows. She just wanted nothing to do with anything. And I could tell, while there was a tear in her eye, there was a fury in them as well.
I guess she got over it eventually.
I don't know if I described it as she got over it, but...
Well, she's doing shows again, is what I mean.
Oh, for sure. And listen, it was like 2 or 3 months later, she was back on stage, belting it out, better than ever. Just outstanding. Honestly, maybe she needed the break.
Took a protege under her arm.
Yeah?
Wing, arm.
Under
Yeah.
her wing, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a good place for us to start on. It sounds like we have a few more people who probably got to investigate back then that we can talk to. It may just have a connection to what's going on today.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Trying to-
loose lips sink ships, dear. Come on now.
Yeah. Well, what? I'm gonna tell all the people. Oh boy.
Fair, point taken, Maze. On the other hand, we've asked an awful lot of her in here. Just a little morsel as a treat.
Little more
All right.
could be an information hazard, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh, you be careful. You could be like Hunch and your head would explode.
Okay. Let's solve a murder to solve a murder.
Ugh.
Perhaps we should solve that murder next time on Ebon Ward?
Probably a
Perhaps,
safe bet.
Though I'm not confident we'll be solving the murder. I think we already know how that murder happened.
No, I mean, that murder in some sense comes pre-solved out of the box, but the real question is...
It's a how catch 'em, not a who done it.
Yeah.
We're Columbo now.
Yeah.
It's a who else knew and who did they blackmail? Who did they blackmail and when?
I will for your sake, just so you're
Yeah.
not running around for like a dozen sessions. You're basically there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like honestly, you have enough information that you can make a move, quite frankly.
Sure.
But I understand the we should,
It's-
dot our I's and cross our T's.
Well, yeah, yeah. The main thing that I, Aram, am still interested in is knowing whether or not Lucine actually knows, which is looking increasingly likely, from the account of her actions, but it would be really great if we knew for sure. Because if she doesn't know, then we don't have to tell Amaranth right away if we don't want to.
We'd like to clear that up, and also, looming question, how exactly did the beans get spilled and the whole Comrades of Vampire racket?
Yeah, no, because also, who else might know about that is another problem for us.
Just don't want to be blindsided by anything.
So what's a fun thing is the orb. We don't even need to actually go to the place he was murdered. We just need to find out if he appears in the orb anywhere at all.
That's true, actually.
And so we could just be like, "Hey, Harrisifs, we brought over some wine. Oh, don't mind us." Boop boop boop. What?
Yeah. Yeah, because you don't have to play the memory. It just confirms for you if someone's dead or not.
Mm-hmm. Well, problems for next time on Ebon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Alright, I
Also,
am going to go to the bathroom real quick. While I do that, feel free to shill our
we've
links. I trust
we've
you
said also
implicitly.
that we don't have any physical evidence, but that's not strictly true because we do still have our handprint, which we thought was Armella's, but obviously is Lucine's, and they're just they're both adult Undine women of close enough-ish build that they have similar size hands.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, are they Samir? Okay.
Yeah, Lucine's a Samir. Yep.
Armella's
Armella is an Undine. Okay, yeah, but
Hey.
Wet women.
Wet women. Hey,
Wet-
if you want to check out some more wet women.
Hey.
Hey guys, join our Discord. I promise there are no wet women there usually. This isn't my fault. You can get our stream schedule there. You can submit fan art. You can hang out and chat. All that good sort of stuff. And, if you also go there, you could also go check out our Patreon, where every month you get access to some icons and new stuff. Yeah.
Oh, boy. Oh, we demand the wet women.
You'll have to provide them yourself. So when I said fan art, I mean get the fuck on it.
Yeah, it's BYOWW.
Bring your own wet women. Let's see here. Yeah, there's a
We
lot of
have
cool
a
stuff.
Patreon tier that gives access to wet women.
That one costs a little more. If you
It's
don't
just
see it in the first month, don't worry,
just
it's coming.
Any girl icon but with a blue filter over it.
God.
Not even well done, just a blue multiply layer over top.
That makes me think. I gotta get the generic icons for January. I don't know which batch I'll grab next.
Gotta get some generics.
Yeah.
Also, I see we've got an Imgur. Who made this?
That's a
It
great
was
question.
made by Sign Centaur. Thank you very much for
Hey!
making me here.
Yeah. Ebon Ward 133. There's nothing inherently wrong with a day with mom. True.
It was an
True.
evening, but yes.
Yeah. So at the top of the pile from Zero Enderborn, we've got these. They've been on
Got
a
this
kick.
fucker.
Yeah, they've been on
Yeah.
a kick trying to conceptualize like a sort of alternate Maze brother thing, which I think is cool.
Labyrinth.
I'm pretty sure it's just supposed to be Lucian, but you know how it is. Looks
Yeah,
nice.
probably.
Thank you very much. From Sanks.
It better be fine.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Is it a frog face?
Little frog.
I love the little fangs. That's a nice attention to detail.
Thank you very much, Sanks. Then from Nieto Bananas.
Leave. Connie, I'm a maze!
Yeah,
No
just
poker face.
played
Not
it
good.
so cool. Thank you very much. Then from Arch Steel. Is it possible to learn this power?
Not from an Everlyn.
True.
True.
Thank you very much. Then from Lemieux.
Connie, I want snacks for me and my son.
Mother, please.
My
Like his big
biggest
stupid nose.
Yeah.
Honker.
Thank you.
It's like a
Honker.
bowl.
Thank you, Lemieux. Then from Sprite.
Had its edit say since 2020.
Burn. Ooh, hooga booga. Ooh,
Very nice. Thank you, Sprite.
very nice.
Then from
Aw.
Lemieux.
This is our new family.
brand new.
Doot, doot, doot.
Thank you. Then from Bananas.
Oh, rad.
He gon' get
Big,
you.
big.
He is big and clenching his fist. What the fuck?
Mind me.
Thank you, Nino.
Great. Thank you so much.
Then from
Oh.
Namu.
Who would win, murdery songstress or one musical boy?
Doot, 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 doot.
I love his little bow tie.
Thank you, Namu.
Oh, you know what he looks like there? He looks like, these.
These.
The Whooper.
Then from G.I. Joey.
This is
So awkward.
so awkward.
Isn't this lovely?
Yeah, man, it's great.
It really is Persephone and Hades.
Yeah.
It really is. Ever since you pointed that out, I was like, uh-oh.
Oh, thank you very much. Then from Skip.
Your Jordans are fake as fuck.
Get out of my head!
Jordans are fake as fuck. Got no drip.
Stop it!
Fake shoes, fake
No!
shoes.
No! Thank you,
I
Skip.
don't mind that they're knockoffs, Maze.
Really?
You have admitted that they are knockoffs.
Thank you, Skip.
Fuck.
Then from my meal. I sense someone not helping me with my problem.
Listen, man, running adventures takes a long time,
It-
and I want to do it.
Like, if no one ever helps Bao, that just sort of validates his entire stance as a character,
Oh, no.
Thank you, Lemieux. And then from Sign Centaur, the session rating scale.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, The Rock. I forgot about that.
And the Rock.
Blonde, manic, pixie, dream girl.
Doot, yeah, Pixie Dream Girl. the Cyclops.
Yeah.
Ball
Revolver
toy.
off.
I didn't have a ball.
Very...
Looks like Lusamine with pom poms.
Manic Pixie Dream Girl, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But, like, she actually cares about her child,
Which is nice.
which is good. I would describe that as a good thing.
Thank you very much, Sign Centaur. And Will,
Thank you. Hey.
thank you so much for running this. This was a pleasure as always.
Oh, there's more.
There's two
Hey,
more.
There's more.
I'll link it directly into the roll setting.
Please do. Thank you.
So this is from G.I. Joey. Or Joey? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is there a way
Laundry
to...
day.
Does this... Okay, yeah, you can
Yeah, you can
open
use
it
it.
big.
It's fine.
They're just sitting on like the riverbank, like, yep.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
There is another one from Lemieux. Wet women.
Taking you what way?
Very, very nice. Always. Oh, you scoundrels with your last minute artworks.
And we love it. Thank
and
you
we love
so
it.
much.
Thank you so much, and Will, thank you so
Hey.
much for running this. This was a pleasure. We're really getting somewhere. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
We
one
can
of those.
start killing people tomorrow.
Honestly, like, again, I don't know what your plan is for the rest of this day, but I think you can take action. I genuinely do.
We just want to be sure, you know.
No, it's good.
Because
It's
the rolls
smart.
are so
It's
mean to
because
us, right?
every time it feels like we get blindsided by something we could have prepared for. You
Yep.
know?
If you rearrange the letters in Leucine Delta, you get Leucine Redwood.
Gosh.
I gotta say, I really appreciate and love how, like, cautious you guys are being, because if there was someone to be very mindful of, whoever is running this shit show is a good one to do it, because they are clearly prepared.
Yeah, no, this is a fucking powder keg, you know?
Mind alteration. The mind alteration.
Yep.
The mind rooting. We just want to be sure. But yeah, I look forward to next time. And chat, thank you so much for being here, donating, submitting artwork, just being here at Hall, supporting us however you do. It means the world to us, however you do it. Thank you so much for being here this time, and thank you for being here next time. Say goodbye to chat, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Toodles.